Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lost Initiative Dark Sun. What is it, Season 2, Champions Run? If the name of the stream title either looks funny or looks different every time you load the stream, blame Mike. There's nothing wrong with him. How's everybody's night going? Good?
It's going.
No, I've been so busy that I don't even know how it's going.
Huh?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Maybe we can find out how it's going. I mean, I know where it's going. I don't know if you remember where it's going.
I don't know where anything's going.
I mean, lead.
I don't remember shit.
Yeah,
lead
well,
us
well,
into
well,
victory.
specifically, Wade, get ready because this is going to be a very you-centric, I think.
That's
little...
great. Thank you, whoever made the Patreon items that we got at the end of last session. Thank you very much. It is so complex that I've been trying to study it for the last hour to figure out all the things I can do now, and I still don't know. So
Thank you for reminding me, Wade.
So
you're very welcome.
let's go over again what had happened. The woman had actually walked through there and said, "Look, this. We found this in Mummy's vault," and handed you a bunch of items and just kind of like handed them out. And Mike, it was funny. Mike just knows me so well. He just re-scrambled it exactly.
Oh
what she
yeah,
said
that's
to go
right. I
perfectly.
remember that.
And so if everybody would like to say what item they got, and if we need clarity as to what the item can do, I'll be more than happy to. So Mike first. Yours is the easiest.
I got glasses.
No, my God.
No, you got goo.
I got
You got the
goo.
goo.
Right, I got the goo.
Somebody got one of these though.
Yep.
That's right, the goo.
I got the glasses.
Someone got a monocle.
It's a monocle,
It's a monocle.
Right.
which
There we
I
go.
love. I still picture Mortifer wearing it, even though it's not canon.
It's just funny because if
rings.
Mortifer went like huge size with the monocle and he had it there and he just like used it as a weapon, like crush somebody with the monocle.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, just see what I did there, as they're like,
Ah.
Oh, come on. Oh,
That's right.
that's bad.
Mortifer would tell bad puns though, so I'm allowed.
that's true.
The monocle, I believe, if you wear it one way, on one eye, it's dark vision, and on the other eye, it's detect magic. So
Correct.
so it's a monocle. It's always switching eyes, which is kind of funny. Ollie, what did you get?
I got sand skis. They let
Yeah,
me swoosh along the sand.
that's right. So
Are they like really big?
No, they're just sandals.
this?
What does my goo do again?
Enhances. You didn't write it down.
I just wrote down goo.
This is
Yeah, Mike. Good job.
Dave, help me out here. Do you remember?
Um,
do you remember his character? His character that could like switch classes.
Oh,
The spell thief?
I'm having flashbacks.
Are you talking about the spell thief?
Oh my god.
He literally.
Mike, you had a class who the whole thing was that you could be any class. That was a fucking disaster.
Oh, it must have been because I don't remember much.
For a diligent PC, it would have been fine, but for you,
Was this the spell thief?
you had access to like every class feature.
It later on became the spell thief for
Okay,
simplicity,
cool.
but
No,
it was,
Mike,
it was a
this
different
is
class
this is
type.
what his character was. Open up the Pathfinder like mega, like the whole website, and he's like, that was his character. The whole website was his character.
So, the worst part was he was just like, I go cleric now. Oh, cool. What abilities do you have? Cleric. And it wasn't. It's not like you got the whole. You got like finite features based. So I eventually went ahead for him. I literally spent like 6 or 7 hours just trying to be a nice DM or whatever. And I made these like I bought index cards or whatever from Staples,
vaguely
and I
remember.
filled them all out. And so if he goes cleric mode, he has this. If he goes like half and half mode, he has these two, and he put them together and he knows what it was that he could do.
I don't understand how this like passed
Mike,
or your
Mike,
own filter of like why would I let Mike play this? He couldn't even remember the hat of loud.
I beat the hat of loud.
Loud.
You know,
I still don't remember what that
You
does. I
assume
never
people
made
get
it.
better with time. You assume it's like a bell curve, and eventually they get better.
No, once you hit 21, that's who you are for the rest of your life.
Oh God,
deal with
that's
it.
not entirely true. You stop, developing at 25. So
Well, I'm 32.
I feel much better about my lack of knowledge as a new D&D player than I do about being-
Pathfinder is like it. You literally, if you want to do Pathfinder, you need to like go to college for it.
All you were
Otherwise,
asked of-
just know the
Your
basics and
goo
let
does.
Scott tell you what the rest does.
We just need to know what your goo does. That
So-
was the
so-
only question.
take it back one
Man.
second. The have loud was
That's
if you
Pathfinder
know
101.
if you know D&D 3.5 or it may have been 3.0. There's literally it's like a captain's what do you call captain's hats and old naval crap? That goofy named hats.
Like a tricorn
Tricorn?
hat?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a different name, but it was a
Yeah,
captain's
Capricorn hat. That sounds right.
Captain's
Sure,
whatever that
Steve.
word is. So, anyways, and he had the hat, and he called it Hat of Loud because it allowed him to speak loudly over weather effects and whatnot. His whole crew could always hear him. it had like 16 other abilities linked.
I
to
only
it.
used the.
Some of them were like
megaphone ability.
call lightning or shit like that. Like he had so many powerful abilities, and he was just like, oh, this just makes my character even more loud and obnoxious. And it was like,
because he was a loud and obnoxious character.
it's like
so
100,000 gold piece item, and he's like,
be more loud and obnoxious. I used the best aspect of that hat.
It's $100,000 megaphone. That's all you used it for.
Exactly.
So your goo.
Yeah,
Michael,
what does it do?
It enhances your potions to allow them to last for, I believe, 4. So it's extended or extended, or what's the other version that's just like that for meta magic feat? Sorry, extended is the length of time, and then there's the other one. I get rid of it. Enlarge. There we go. Yeah, enlarge or extend. Those two. So it's one of those two effects when you use it on your potions. I couldn't think of the word.
Basically, you have 10 uses of either the enlarge potion or extend potion.
Yeah, and the number of uses based off of the spell level. So if you have a 3rd level spell, it takes up 3 uses.
Right. I remember that part. You did.
Christ, sorry. Long convoluted explanation for Mike. Take fucking notes. All right.
I have so many notes though.
No, as for taking notes,
They're just all question marks.
Mortifer, yours is a bit more involved. Would you like to tell everybody what it's called?
Okay. Bracers of the Horde is what the name was I've seen, but I've got Bracers of Orkkin written in my gear, so pick a name, any name. It's one of those two.
I'll go through it very quickly.
Thank God.
In short, and it makes sense when Dave's character spends time to figure it out because history and smart and nerd and all that. Anyways, the Sorceress Queen that died here, her name was Alec Ray of Waverly. She was actually the Orc Plague.
Oh, that's who that is.
That was it's Ablak Ray. So she was known as the Orc Plague. She was the one that was supposed to kill all Orc kin, and she succeeded in killing the last of the Orc kin. The spirit of the Orc people were infused into this item. So it's literally the spirit of orcs, and it gives them a bunch of Orc-related abilities. Moving on. You guys had literally just gotten these items, looked them over really quickly, but you were heading out the door and making your way across. So you're literally walking out of the Ivory Palace.
That wasn't it though. There was a necklace and a ring, or 2 rings and a necklace too.
Oh, those are the other items that you guys had procured.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going over those.
They made an alarm or something similar.
Correct. Yep. That's hold on 1 second, guys. What's up?
So
Linus
the
or-
necklace I've got gives
Oh my
plus
God,
1
it's totally
AC.
my
I can
card.
cast
She's
shield
freezing
once a
and
day
she
as a
really
swift
wanted it.
action.
I'm
I
sorry.
believe if you wore the ring and the
she's got
necklace
to live that
together,
for
there was
one
like a
night. Give her your
bonus.
blanket.
Yeah, you could. I think you could
give her
use
other-
them to cast a ritual spell to make
One
it
second.
so that no one could enter an area, or something similar to that.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
I don't know if I have the ring or not.
Something that Aina can do, and I will never need to worry about.
Yeah.
Go.
I don't know that
What am I worrying about?
Oh, Scott
if
muted
there was a
himself
ring-
for us, but not for the call. That's
If
fine.
you wear both rings together,
Oh,
is it
no.
both rings together, Dave? Or is it
Oh,
a ring and
good
an
job,
amulet
Scott.
that allows you to do the Templar's like safe barrier spell?
Okay.
Oh no, what's that?
Oh yeah, the rings. Okay, I forgot about the rings.
Yes. That's what happens when we get given a bunch of magical items. And then 2 weeks pass. Can your next character Wade just be a fucking
Just be
gremlin?
Smeagol.
That's
Yeah.
a really good. That's a really good. Smeagol.
He's so good at that.
World is nice and cool, where my only wish is to catch a fish so juicy sweet.
Were you not here when Scott had Wade do that to his wife? Because
Oh yeah, I scared the shit out of his. I creeped her out.
Yeah. It was so funny.
I did a stream where, like, as a reward, I would sing a song as Smeagol, and I got like a donation goal where I had to do like Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" as Smeagol.
Oh.
I couldn't talk for a week after just getting through that
No.
first like that. Oh god, I can't even attempt it again. It destroyed.
No, it's a
All
one-time.
right, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's a different streamer brain when I'm on Lost Initiative versus Daleric. Daleric, I know what to do. On Lost Initiative, usually Mike is the one hosting the stream, so sorry about that. My daughter wants her blankie, and it's in my car at my wife's job, about 45 minutes from here. So
Well, good luck, Scott. We'll go on without you. I'll DM. All right, everyone. You get
oh no,
10 million
no.
gold pieces.
A 2-year-old can live without her blankie for a night. So
No, she can't.
so
Riot, riot in chat.
all right, so no, don't riot. You inspire. It's just as successful.
Depriving children of their blankets.
So anyways,
What do the rings do, Scott?
Did you not write those down too?
Well, someone else took them, so I didn't. I thought Wade wrote them down.
So it was either the ring and the necklace or the 2 rings combined.
So one ring was just a combination ring. So there was the necklace that allowed you to cast shield once a day as a bonus action or a swift
And
action,
gave
right?
+1 to AC.
And a flat +1 to AC, which is pretty sweet, as a deflection bonus to AC specifically.
Yeah.
And that's how that amulet worked. The ring. Oh, I don't think the ring had its own special effects. So it's the necklace or the 2 rings together were how you activated the other ability, which is that very.
You had to have all
unique-
3?
Yeah, that's how you do the very unique.
Do I have both rings then?
I imagine so.
So you have to have both rings in the necklace, so you can get a +1 deflection.
Imagine
bonus.
Mortar for
No. The necklace does the magic. The rings do the once a week effect.
What's the once a week effect?
The unique alarm spell that almost acts like a sanctuary. Da 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 da.
Can you hear me?
I might.
I can hear you now.
I hear a cat.
No. I've lost audio on my computer completely.
I hear you. We.
Curse
Hi, Mike.
stream.
I can
Hi, Mike.
Curse.
Hey, I can see you. I can't hear anything.
I don't know.
No, what
we
the
hear
hell
you.
just happened?
Thursday curse is back.
Oh, come
Look,
on.
don't-
We are
last
prepared
week
for tonight's
was for
stream,
me.
everyone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Should we
bringing
just
the
like?
curse.
Should we just stop stream and start up again? Just like.
No, I think it's just
Hard reboot.
podcast time for a bit.
Yeah. Apparently. So so
The
you guys
one a
get-
week alarm ability.
Yeah, but it's a very unique type of alarm. It pertains to what that guy was doing over in the temple over there.
It's not the clock tower sound, right? It's like the more of the like do 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 alarm. Right?
It's not an actual alarm.
Oh,
In 5e, you can make it be a natural.
so it's like a radio alarm. So it
But
plays. a
it's not the
special
alarm
song.
spell. It's the sanctuary that blocks the
So-
area that you're. Yeah.
So Wade, you have that? I believe you're in possession of that. So do you have that written in your
He's
character
wearing the
sheet?
necklace, so I imagine he has the rings. as
I
well.
put shield necklace +1 AC, cast shield once a day as a swift action. Then the 2 rings once a week alarm spell sanctuary.
This is gonna
Yeah, so
sound
you
silly.
have the other rings, yeah.
This is gonna sound silly, but make sure to put +1 deflection.
That's
Plus one
very
deflection.
important.
That actually really matters.
I can
Plus
actually
some
put that
deflections.
ad sheet for you right now if you want.
It's actually
Okay, put deflection. How do I apply that actually on the
I will.
Just write the word wherever you listed the item. Just put +1.
What does that
deflection.
mean?
I'll show you. Look,
So-
here's your AC. Boom, deflection.
To answer that question while we
Plus
wait
one.
for Mike to be able to hear us again. So in Pathfinder and 3rd edition 3.5 D&D, there are many different types of bonuses to your AC. And types don't necessarily stack. Some do, most don't. And different types of bonus apply to either flat-footed or touch
What?
AC.
I can hear my own voice. That's not what I want.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
I just did it.
Much is speaking. Be
I
a
just
nicer
upgraded
GM
the
to Siam.
It's just a matter of how it is that things interact with one another. Like deflection also applies to things like the way ghosts touch you. And
It's like how I can touch through some armor.
Okay, so I got rid of the temp.
I did it for you.
I got rid of the temp one because you had me up to 20. So I put
Yeah.
temp back to 0 and you have deflection at 1.
correct.
Yeah,
So I still don't understand what that means, but I believe you that
So
it
just
is.
a different type of armor,
It's just a
basically.
different type of armor, exactly. So
Okay.
so if you imagine a shield is a shield, armor is armor, dex is dex, right? But then you get to the natural armor, the toughness of your skin, or your natural resilience of your your physique.
Okay, gotcha.
But then it gets to the really
I'm
unique
gonna mute
stuff.
myself. You guys play.
Okay, he's gonna fix himself for a second. So and then deflection does things like it stops the attack from even being able to hit you in the first place. Like literally stops it before it gets to what your person is, which is how it impacts things like certain types of spells that usually can't be stopped or ghosts touch. And
So is deflection a good AC?
deflection's actually top tier. Like the only thing better than deflection is dodge. And that's assuming like dodge bonus or dex bonuses. That's assuming you aren't being like pinned for any reason. Deflection holds true even against pinning and stuff like that. So
Cool. Okay.
yeah. And then we can get crazy. Then there's like
God, I didn't
holy
know.
bonus. What's the other one called? Unholy. so on and so forth. All right, Untied.
Pathfinder's so fun.
It is actually. It's a game. It's a game of chess inside of a game.
We had all three
can
of
respect
the
that.
D&D games that I'm in, the 2 Star Wars and this one, all kind of like wrap up their seasons at the same time, and trying to rework and reimagine and understand characters and all these new items.
Mortifer was actually easy. Mortifer was the easiest one. Yeah, it's just getting this new item
That
last
doesn't
session.
easier on Pathfinder doesn't mean shit.
Exactly. If you were playing this character in 5e, you'd be like, I walked up to him, I press a button, the number good times.
That's why 5e
likes number.
Well, I mean, if we wait like another 6 months, supposedly all of the Sonic stuff for 5e is going to be coming out.
I have a feeling I'm not going to be a fan of it, but we'll see what happens. Mike, can you hear us yet? Okay, then we're going to go on with Mike making goofy faces and eventually chiming in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lost Initiative, Dark Sun. This is session... I don't remember anymore. Season 2. It's 3. Season 2.
Yeah, Champions
Run.
Single apostrophe run. Season 2, episode 3?
Episode 3. You're correct. As I had said, literally she came down the hallway, said, look what we found in Mummy's tomb. Mummy's vault. And it gave you guys the items. He unscrambled them. You guys had spent a moment to kind of like check everything out, figure out what it was, and then you're moving forward. You guys are currently inside the Ivory Palace, specifically walking out of your penthouse area. So you're walking down the hallways and out the palace. Unless there's anything you're doing before you leave the building. Didn't think there was. So the idea is that you're supposed to be leaving the palace, or maybe you're still staying in there to plan out what your actual plan is.
I remember why we're leaving. We're killing Corvo.
Correct. So you're heading over.
It took all this time to remember what we're doing.
I was literally about to say. Your plan is to go over to where the high nobility's homes were, over in this area, and you're going to be killing Champion Corno. As a reminder, last night I think it was Dave's character, maybe it was Ollie's character, Ollie's character had seen a group of his men heading north of where they usually are held.
Hall of Conquest.
Correct. So they are immediately to your east. They were heading to like the northeast. North of themselves, to the Hall of Conquest. You didn't have a course of action other than we need to go there and kill them, but they are vast numbers. You didn't have a plan as of yet.
So I think the initial plan is that we just need to scope out because we just don't know the situation. We know that there's a building, there's supposedly hold up there. I mean, we need to know. I think we need more information before we can make.
What is this building made of? If I just destroy the building, they'll all die inside.
So that's a good question. What does the Hall of Conquest kind of look like layout-wise and stuff from afar?
The Hall of Conquest isn't where you guys are heading. You're heading to the high nobilities, or the high nobles' homes, which is other than that. So to answer that, back on the lofty area, which honestly, when you guys get up to the loft part of the penthouse, so you can look out the windows, sometimes you step in a place that's a little sticky, and you can just imagine why. As you guys are looking over in that region,
Mike's goo, right?
To Ollie's, to see what's going on over there, you can see that there's not one building, but a bunch of different buildings. Like I said, it's their homes. Trying to judge what the buildings are made out of without having to make any rolls. It looks like much like all the other ones, Adobe, but why don't you make me perception checks to see what it actually shows up to be?
Sure.
Chat made a valuable point. We actually don't need to kill them. We just need to make them leave the Queen's Circle, which is the high-tier district of the city that we're in, basically.
And you have to deliver the item into the where the statue was.
Yeah, we need to put a gem on a statue. Yep. Remove statue gem.
Yep. Okay, that threw everything off. 1 second, guys.
Did that
Oh
work?
God, my head is Scott's stomach.
I can fix this. I can fix it.
I can fix it.
I can fix it. Fix it, Felix.
Dave's a little scary. Hold on, I can fix this a little bit quicker. God, Dave, you're very funny.
Does Dave have the green screen face again?
He does, it's
No,
so creepy.
it's so creepy. I don't like it.
I can fix it.
It's cured.
Look at Ralph. Okay.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Oh God, sorry everybody. Mike just sucks.
Yeah, Mike.
I don't know if that's well centered there, Scott.
I'm not done yet.
That's good.
It happened all at once, and this is usually set up for a different campaign. This overlay is a little bit different.
We all together. We were like, all right, we're gonna get our cameras all perfectly aligned. You click on your camera. You click on your camera. We had it all perfect, and then Mike fucked it all up.
Well, it literally all started with being like Mike texting me, "Hey, can you host?" And I'm like, "I'm at the Roger Williams Zoo in Providence right now."
To be fair, he was saying that he was having some technical issues, and
Oh,
clearly he was.
Yeah. All right. There we go. I think I'm the only one that's crappy now. No comments made. Okay.
Look,
Yeah,
considering this is a world without toilet paper, we're all a little crappy.
Okay, I think we're good now. Let's transition. All right. There we go.
I hope so.
Instead of perfect from last week, from that other time we didn't have him. All right. There we go.
That's better.
So, hi everybody. Sorry about that. Hopefully that is the last of the issues. You look at the homes and you see that they were made out of adobe, is what you had assumed from the initial look. Obviously, you guys look a little bit more closely, make your perception checks, and everybody's able to see not entirely made out of adobe. Some of them are, at least there are parts that are, because it makes it more malleable and easier to work with. But much of the homes are actually made of stone, like hewn stone. So this is homes that are much higher in quality and durability, so on and so forth. Breaking them with a hammer's blow might be a little bit more difficult. However, the roofs might be something that you would look a little bit more closely at. Does anybody have architecture and engineering?
Yes.
You can roll it.
Yes.
I feel like Mortifer should get a free point for all the buildings he's smashed in this campaign.
You could actually see, Dave, that while the homes are far better crafted, the roofs aren't necessarily aren't necessarily stronger up top, aside from stone versus. But a hammer's blow, if it's good enough, actually could collapse the roof, just like any other roof, if it's strong enough. And you actually think, after what you saw Mortifer do last time, he might actually be able to pull something like that off again if he wanted to, because these roofs aren't, pivoted. They're flat.
So I'll look out over the roofs as I kind of catch Mortifer's attention. I say these walls look like they'd be a little difficult to penetrate with weapons or destruction. However, and I kind of glance at him with a sarcastic look, the roofs are quite destructible.
Oh, Mortifer can get in, no problem. Would Shashuk like to stand on the roof as Mortifer smashes it again?
I think I would prefer to be on your shoulders this time. Again, much, much safer. Less chance of me being pancaked.
Slightly less fun, but equally amusing to Mortifer.
So you guys have looked at the buildings. With those perception checks, you've also been able to. It's more Einar than anyone else, and which is kind of funny because he's like old. But you imagine, he just has, with the use of say bits of his psionic abilities, or even kind of shielding up the light, being practiced, actually being one of you people that travels between cities. So looking across large areas is something he's more accustomed to compared to Shashuk, who's like house to house, or Mortifer, who's across an arena.
I like how I get one good roll, and now you have to make these big swathing explanations about why my character is able to do this.
Well, it's why they failed. So
I rolled really piss poor on perception, so
you can see that there are. I'm going to use the word patrols of his men, Korno's men out there. I'm using the word patrols because the technically on guard patrolling, but no structure to it whatsoever. Like what you had bumped into the castle tail end of season 1 was people that were marching back and forth because it was up and down a hallway. Here they have no pattern or timing or anything to the way that they're kind of watching out the perimeter of this area. But there's a good number of them.
Cool.
Okay.
What's the plan of attack, team?
How many houses do they? How many houses in total do they seem to be occupying that we could see?
So the region itself is actually something like 25 houses. Counting assuming you can see all of them and you're counting it right, about 25 houses. They're only really occupying to its entirety 10 of them. But from time to time, people will, as part of their patrol, disappear into a house for a while, come back out, so on and so forth.
They're fucking.
It's very easy to kill someone with their pants down. I'm pretty good at it.
Having flashbacks to the Dark Side campaign.
Well, If we attack one house, all of them will be alerted. Even if we were to attack at night, we do not exactly have the scion of stealth with us. So I think trying to quietly take out all of the guards is kind of out of the question. The question is, does anyone have any better idea than fight them all?
I mean, I could try and take out a few before Mortifer smashes the
Mortifer will raise his finger, just
Yeah. However, the second the combat starts in earnest, it'll alert. Unless you can take out every guard on every house.
No, but if I can take out a couple quietly,
Well,
then at
yes.
least give us some advantage.
Suppose. I mean, then instead it'll be 50 on 4. It'll be 45 on 4.
And also means when the brawl starts, I'll be in the shadows where I belong. And if I really get outnumbered, you can summon one of your goo men, and it'll, they'll.
Yes. Well,
punch in their
I'm not even one of my, not one of my minions would be able to take on that many gladiators attacking en masse. Let's see.
perhaps simply calling out Corno for a fight would allow us to have a one-on-one and have his
I
men stand
reckon-
down.
Corno ain't even here, mate.
Do you think Corno would even agree to such a challenge?
Probably, but then he'd fight dirty. That's my guess.
I do not know Corno as well now as I did in the arena, and even then I did not know him well. I am not sure of this.
I don't think he's here. I think that's why all the movement's going on. But we need to clear them out from here.
Or if we find Corno and bring his head and throw it at the men there, perhaps they will scatter like rodents.
Now that, we don't need to kill him. We just need to make them leave. That way, Mortifer gets to kill Corno, and we get to have an easy time.
Perhaps then they'd follow and worship Mortifer as they should.
I think, well, it's quite possible that Corno might be responsive to a challenge. And also, Mortifer is known to these people. It's possible that we have Mortifer go in on his own ahead and call out a challenge to Corno. We'll have Shashuk. I turn to Shashuk. Shashuk, you will take a position in the shadows, and if things look like they're not going to agree to his challenge, you strike.
What do I remember about Corno, Scott? Would I remember if he would be an honorable opponent, or if
I think
he'd
we
be
had
kind
this
of a dirty
discussion
fighter?
before, and we figured he'd probably be fair until he was about to lose. I think is what we decided before.
That sounds right. I vaguely
Yeah.
remember that.
And that was, like you said, as far as you knew back in the day when he was actually still in the... Yeah.
Yeah, but he's probably gotten pretty lackluster with having people do all the shit for him all the time.
So, with that in mind, is there anywhere in this sort of area with them doing loose patrols where is anyone in kind of a snipery position? Because I would aim to kill them first.
I mean, from the distance that you are right now, absolutely not, no. You're pretty far from them.
No, but when we go in, that would be what I'd look for.
Oh, somebody that's kind of like on a roof and playing lookout?
Yeah.
No,
These guys aren't
that
that
is
smart.
well. It's more than that. The sun's beat down hard. You know what I mean? So the fact that you've encountered that in the city is because there's often like you'd be there temporarily, get down, somebody else take the spot or shadow from another building nearby, and then when you encountered that in the Ivory Palace, you actually, as I'm sure you remember how unique that combat was, that was a unique individual. It was supposed to be an ally.
Scott, do we have any access to slaves?
At least
Dashik
one.
has.
What? Say it again.
At least one.
One. I know, but another. Someone strong of back.
So in the Ivory Palace, there are literally 0 slaves unless they're dragged in for a cause, and then they're usually used up for that cause. So you had seen them, a day or two prior, but they were brought in specifically for that. You guys are effectively the slaves here.
Okay. So I have a plan. It just means I'm going to have to spend a lot of PowerPoints to execute the plan.
I think, before you say your plan, that you, Dave, are in risk of overthinking this.
No,
we
you're going to
can
like my
literally-
plan. No, my plan is ridiculous.
Oh,
That
God.
doesn't mean it's not overthought.
Come on, when he says my plan's ridiculous, that's when you get things like falling huge-sized
No, I've
zombies.
I've got to hear it out. You're right.
Mike, what do you
Surfing
think?
on the door.
I like Mike's plan.
What? Mike's plan?
Yeah.
Um.
Don't you guys
What-
hear him? Just me?
Oh, I can't hear Mike at all. Is he talking?
No, he's not even
No,
Paul.
Wade's joking.
I just always hear him.
Dave, you got you. You got you.
Dave, what's your plan?
Okay, sorry. I'm actually researching the name of this thing. I can't remember it.
Oh,
What-
you're actually
what-
gonna tell him? I thought you were gonna keep it secret till you play.
No,
it
no,
out.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. What's the name of those things that like when someone it's a car, but its slaves carry the person on their back. It's basically just
Oh,
a
palanquin.
chair. A what?
Pelican?
Palanquin?
Palanquin. There's a Q in it.
Palanquin.
They got like
Harley Quinn.
Palanquin.
Arms.
Palanquin.
Palanquin.
Harley Quinn.
Like
yeah.
a palindrome.
Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, palanquin. So here's our thing. Like, we need something to get their attention. I will summon 4 of my astral constructs in utility mode, and they're gonna carry Mortifer on a palanquin.
That is a good plan. Because
And-
you're right. Yeah.
And they're gonna carry, and I got another spell called control sounds, and I can make the sounds of like cheering.
Yeah. It needs to be like a legit proper challenge. And that way, if things go wrong, then you got 4
Wouldn't it
probably.
be cheaper
But,
to bribe
no,
4
not
people?
the cheering. I don't have a good enough illusion.
Could we just
I could
bribe
actually
4
create
people
sound.
with money to carry rather than use your PowerPoints?
What?
We could
There's
probably
no
offer like
problem.
10
We have to go
conferences.
through them to get to people. Because this area, if I remember correctly, Scott, is
This
essentially.
is by where we snuck in. This isn't by the entrance to the thing.
That's nearby that place called like, isn't that the place, the circle?
Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of
That
Yeah, we
place is
snuck in by the high nobility home. That's where the sand sharks were, but we don't have to go through that to leave the palace area.
Yeah, but the thing is when you start involving commoners in plans like this, you're just giving yourselves more issues and taking a longer time to do a simple thing.
Well, that's true. I was just trying to save some PowerPoints in case everything goes to shit like it probably will.
I know.
Yeah, it probably will. I think that's a good plan. Do we have a palanquin to use it with?
You are in her castle. A lot of her stuff is still here, including things like.
Oh, jeez. I could enlarge and still ride that thing based on how big
Yeah.
she was, couldn't I?
Well, you are large. She was large, but a different type of large.
Oh, so I couldn't go. Okay.
She
so I
was
couldn't-
large, but in girth.
Yeah, how much? How
You're
much do you
large
weigh
in height.
normally?
1,500.
Yeah, no, you as your current size could actually be the prince. Woo, boys.
Mortifer, I don't know that. Woo! No, I don't. Think
Yeah, come on. That'd be awesome.
Oh God.
No, I think
I'm-
that's a great idea.
I'm
If we
looking
can,
for Corno.
if we can real quick acquire a palanquin and do this plan, then yes.
So she would
Dave, you're-
definitely have one here, and it's not like that's something that would have been taken out of the castle.
Mhm.
When it got
No,
raided.
exactly. I'll happily help trying to find one if that even requires a roll or not.
Are you talking to us, Dave? You're muted.
Oh, I totally thought he was talking to his son.
No, I was talking to my son. No, but I actually didn't even consider that there would be one here. I forgot where we were.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense, doesn't it? All right. Plan Queen Mortifer. Let's go.
So are we gonna try to get some slaves to carry it?
No, just use your fucking boys.
Okay.
I think you were trying to not be obvious, though. Was that your plan, Dave, to not be obvious? So you wanted the slaves so it didn't look like you have summoned creatures carrying
Well,
them?
yeah. See, the summon creature's a little bit odd looking. Like, I mean,
No
they.
one in the world would know they're summoned creatures, though. They just look weird.
They look like perfect.
It would be very out of character for the world for anyone aside from maybe if they have a scion.
We
to
can
know.
throw some freaking dirty cloaks on them.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
probably
But they
have
already are dirty cloaks, aren't they?
No. They're like pearly white, head to toe. They don't look like something that you would normally encounter in the world.
It looks
And more than
even
that,
more like a queen's chaperone.
what was that? I'm sorry.
Looks even more like a queen's chaperone. It just
Now,
fits more.
Let's just get cloaks. We'll just put cloaks, throw cloaks on them.
You could do that. You could do the whole what's his name again? Andre the Giant thing. Just throw a big cloak on it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a bunch of robes. They're gonna be
If we can, yeah, that makes sense. Just
I
to-
hate that I love this plan as much as I do.
I know you would love this plan. That's why I made it.
So Mortifer is inside the palanquin, and you lot are carrying the thing, or at least Dave is wearing his full plate armor or whatever it is as an honor guard, so he doesn't have to like. You guys have cloaks on with the summoned creatures.
Yeah, could you guys?
carrying the thing.
Not you, Shashik. You wouldn't be there, but Dave, you could take one of the spots to say one of your summons.
I don't know if Aina can.
I don't think
If
he would
you
actually
do
need to use much strength. He would just need.
for me to carry it.
Yeah, you would walk alongside of it as a guard. So,
Yeah, and what I'm literally gonna do is this is gonna. I really hope I don't have to fight because this uses up so many of my power points. Then I'm gonna use control sound to amplify your voice. So your voice is gonna like echo. It's
It'd
gonna
be
be
really
like,
awkward if we have the wrong address and we do all this and it's like.
Because
"Oh, that way."
bear in mind, like Shasik's already said, Corvo's probably not there.
where did
just
you
so
see
you know.
where did you see movements? So you said
They went between the high nobility homes to the Hall of Conquest, but either way, you can get attention here and then be like, okay, this challenge is being issued, and maybe they'll go to him. So either way, it still kind of works, but don't expect Corno to be there.
That's fine. That's fine, and actually it works for me because I prefer that I can do this whole plan and then rest to get on.
Oh, I doubt we're going to be able to rest, but I doubt he's here.
Oh well,
but yeah,
whatever.
You
And
could
while
issue a
you're-
challenge for like tomorrow at noon or something. You know,
Sure.
a formal.
Okay, so all right, so I think this is gonna be the plan. It's gonna cost me to do this whole plan. It's gonna cost me 17 power points.
Hold on. How many summons? What's the strength of each summon? And of course, you're having the utility part put on them.
Yep. So let me look up their strength. Give me 1 second.
And you're doing medium-sized ones, of course.
I'm doing the medium size, so they're level 2s, so they cost 3 power points apiece.
Dum 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 dum. Make way.
All right, so they have a 17 strength.
Wow, that's really, really strong. So 1,500 pounds is still a lot of weight. So you'd probably want what, six people carrying the thing. So I don't know what your exact plan was, but if you summoned 4 of those, and then you had Shashuk and what's Mike's character? No,
That wasn't the plan.
Where are you
Because
guys gonna be?
the plan was to, well,
We're hoping 4.
My-
Well, how about this? How about this?
and I was going to go and start getting ready to kill people if it goes wrong.
I can summon 2 level 4s. You know what their strength is? 29.
But you can't have 2 people carry a palanquin.
yeah, you need 4.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the strongs are on either side.
Yeah.
You need 4, it's just the strength of them.
No, so strength 17 could pull it off if it's just weight inside of it. That's fine.
Yeah. It wouldn't need to be more
So
than
you're,
weight.
you're not moving quickly either. So
Yeah. Okay, so we'll summon 4 level 2s, 17 strength, and they'll carry him. And then once he gets into position, I'm gonna cast control sound to amplify his voice.
a 17 strength has a heavy load of 260. Is actually what it is.
All right.
So that actually means that 260 times 4 is actually not as much as Mortimer weighs.
So we cut a hole in the bottom, and I put 1 foot on the ground and kind of help paddle like it's.
But
that
also,
would
if you
be
bear in
jarring.
mind that these creatures don't exist and can't get exhausted, you know, if you assume
So-
you're
so
essentially going to break them. it doesn't
Do
really matter.
I need to up the number? Do I need to up it up?
I'm just checking something really quickly. You would need either stronger or because they don't have anything that boosts it, and so it's push or drag increases it, lift overhead decreases. Yeah, so it's literally 260 is the max, and so the idea of like when you hit 260, that's the maximum you could possibly carry while still moving.
Yeah, I get it.
So let's go get some slaves then. If we can't do it that way, let's go get some slaves. That will not be
Yeah,
that
fair.
hard.
If it's not
They're
gonna-
probably pretty cheap.
Yeah, all right.
How many slaves would we need?
So if you assume the average slave is
Slaves, probably 8
Yeah,
or 10.
if you assume a slave, but now mind you, there's an exponential effect of having. So wait, how much do you weigh again?
1590. 1590.
See, 4 of them equals only about 1,000. So yeah, I would say if you grabbed 8 slaves, that'd be fine.
Okay. And slaves are pretty cheap in this world, right?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Uncomfortable conversation, but yeah.
Don't worry, Couch. Maybe we'll free them afterward or something. Probably.
No.
We
Our character-
we're servicing. If we're trading goods, then Shashik will not let you give them away. Especially if I pitched in,
That's fair.
considering I think I have the most money.
All right.
How much money would we need to spend? If it's assumed that we can easily do this without like needing to go and role play all this stuff.
All right, Scott, make the buying of slaves as uncomfortable as possible.
So, of course, when you guys get to the market, the first thing you do is you check their teeth. That's the most important thing. So anyways, you guys are just getting slaves that need to be strong enough to be able to handle this job. So we'll even go so far as to say you spend, 4 gold pieces on each of them. Gold pieces being ceramic plates. So 4 times 8. What's that come up to?
32.
32. Thank you. So 4 times 8, 32 gold just to get them. You know what I mean? And you're not looking for the healthiest of them. You're looking for you can handle work because you don't care if they survive. You're not using them for the long term or anything like that. So what's up, Mike? Ollie?
Who's spending that money?
I've got 150 GP, so I can.
Oh,
just buy
that's not much. You should...
Take it off. Somebody take off Mike's character sheet because he's not here.
No,
So
we can't do that. That's illegal.
No, it's not.
I'll buy him. Shashik
I
has
don't,
no
I don't mind. I don't mind spending money.
All right,
Mortifer will never buy.
This is literally what happened in character. We're like, well, I don't mind. You're like, I insist.
Yeah, Mortifer does not have any use for money, so he just
Can't complain. I have been carrying around over 1,500 ceramic pieces since the start of the game and had no reason to spend them on it.
Mortifer's had 150, and that's all he's ever had. No more, no
Shashik
less.
started the game after a heist and has had just
Okay, so I spent 32 GP.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things I want you guys to do while you're out there is actually roll me diplomacy checks for anybody that would actually be engaging in conversation beyond just the purchasing of slaves.
I doubt you'd let Mortifer do much of the talking.
I mean, I'm not that good at it either, but Shashik absolutely would, because here's the thing. Shashik's always wanted slaves, and now he sees himself as a high enough in society to start buying. So he's kind of like, when someone's just getting into high society and is totally overselling it, but with slaves. So it's worse.
I feel like Einar would probably be like, let me say something.
Too late. I already rolled the 10.
I imagine you guys can roll as well, of course, and I imagine Jack, we're not going to have a roll because he's the one handling the transaction.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
I hate to break it to you. That's a constructs diplomacy check.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Remember, that happened at flipped last time.
Oh, that was a nat 20.
Oh,
Oh well, you know what?
because natties aren't auto
The
success.
dice
right?
gods will it.
All right, and you're saying your character Mortifer, would he be chatting with people at all, like, or no?
I doubt it. I don't think he would. I think he would realize, like, I don't know what the fuck to do with money right now. So
So in your conversations with people, trying to get just a general feel of the situation and so on and so forth, and you more or less you're just trying to gather information. There used to be an old skill, gather information. You just try to pull info from the people around you. One of the things that you actually will be able to find out is you can actually find out a bit about Corno himself, and the fact that he has been sitting a bit high and mighty on his throne, and because of that, he has all these slaves that just do his work for him, so on and so forth. There's a few people that have actually defected from his group, and when people defect from his group, they are hunted down and killed like an escaped slave would be treated. But even before the ones that actually are able to get away, or before those ones are actually found and killed, you come to find out pretty quickly, those that are underneath him are starting to get the idea that being under him is not any better than being under anybody else they were with beforehand. He's literally just become another hands to the whip. So that's the general idea that you get. But more than that, other gladiators have actually gone so far as to be like, whether hearing the rumors or otherwise, tried to approach him and ambush him. Not approach him, ambush him, my apologies, and challenge him. And he has every time beforehand sent out people to just handle the problem for him. Like,
Coward.
They're not even worth my time. It's one of those. If he can't handle a lot of you, he's not worth my time. Or if she can't handle a lot of you, she's not worth my time. That's sort of a excuse to send people out handling the situation. But more than that, he's of course had to deal with attacks against the the actual group before. And you know, whenever there's an attack, whenever somebody else is coming in and trying to attack his area that he's defending, he just sends a huge group of people, and he just always wins by sheer numbers because he has a lot of people. He actually is the biggest group. I'd said this several times before. The biggest group of people out of all the different factions is his. So he just keeps winning by sheer numbers. But he is rarely, if ever, seen on the battlefield. Though he is usually around.
I can't see the fire coming.
Exactly. And he can't see the people's coming. Oh, Asher's so cute.
Well done.
Yeah.
With that information, do we still want to go ahead with the plan? We might impress some boys to your side preemptively. Because, let's be honest, we know that Mortifer basically wants to fill that power vacuum. So I think this play is still pretty
I'm wondering
good.
if we have a better chance of winning them over if I'm not looking all high and mighty. I love the plan, but if they already are like dealing with someone sitting on their throne.
See, that's what I was
being a
gonna
lazy
say
ass.
before the plan would just be fucking walk in. Because you've already impressed people just being yourself, and that's probably true.
Such a fun plan. But I think, yeah, realistically,
I think
the last thing they're going to want to be is like, oh, look, another former gladiator sitting on his ass. Yeah, I'll switch sides.
another adventurer come to lick my father's boots.
So, would you guys think that just having Mortifer walk in there and try to talk
I
to
think
him-
just having you walk in is much better. I don't know whether you'd want to go alone. Honestly, I think walking in with us would be fine. It's like
Just you be like ahead.
yeah, it's just your party. You know, I think that would be fine.
And Mortifer play the part of like, my companions walk alongside me. They don't serve me like you're serving porno.
The way bullshit machine has started.
Yes.
No, I
Mortifer's
think that's way
wise.
better.
As long as he's going to be smart, he could be wise.
I think it's way better. So we're gonna get a refund on those slaves.
Yeah, first 24 hours is a full money back guarantee. One of them broke down, like that R2 unit on in A New Hope.
I imagine you guys are
You know that droid is canonically a Jedi. That's why it
it's so
did it.
stupid.
That droid
So
saw the future
stupid.
and knew if R2 didn't get chosen, then everything was fucked. So it killed itself because it's got a bad
so
motivate.
Stupid. God.
Star Wars lore is great.
Legends is so bad. Legends is so bad.
Oh, that was good.
Oh god, it's so bad.
Your
Anyways,
next Star Wars character should just be an R2 unit. Please, thanks. You can do it.
into every Skywalker is the chosen one. It's so bad. So anyways, I love Star Wars, but it's not good. It's bad
Yeah,
storytelling.
that's literally
So bad
that's
storytelling.
You were supposed to have a bad motivator, not use it.
So anyways, you guys more or less come to this conclusion of, okay, we got to go about this entirely differently. Like, this new information is super important. And then Jack walks over with the slaves. He's kind of like tugging a chain lazily behind him. As he walks over, he's like, ugh, and like hands the chain to one of the other slaves standing next to him so they can pull the chain because he doesn't feel like doing it. And he's like, you ready?
Oh, Jack, Mortifer thinks so. We have a different plan. Mortifer does not remember it, though.
Jack is just standing there nodding.
And he's like, what's the plan? Recap it in a short, sweet way that everybody understands.
Well, it seems like
Mortifer walks in.
Walk in, bullshit, win.
We don't need the slaves. It gives the wrong impression. Apparently, people don't like people who own slaves. I don't know why. It's weird.
so we don't need these slaves.
Nah, send them back. I mean, I take them, but I don't need 8 yet.
Maybe we can offer palanquin rides. Make the money back.
Welcome to Ivory Palace World, everyone. Roller coaster.
Oh my god!
Cool. The
Now we finally
champions
have a purpose.
Is this water trafficking all over again?
Hey,
Yeah, I was gonna say, in Star Wars, we traffic water, and in this game, we give.
if they can make Las Vegas in the middle of a desert, I don't see why we can't make something equally as amazing in the middle of Rom.
Oh, sure. No, totally possible. pipeline all that water in. So anyways, Jack just kind of shrugs. He's not the one that spent the money. It was Mortifer's money. So he says, "Well, Mortifer, they're technically your slaves. Here, give him."
Mortifer will sell them for a profit.
Going up
You're
in
gonna
the world.
You're gonna be a slave.
Oh yeah, dude.
So you
Fix them
walk
up.
back to the market.
Buy low and sell high.
You know what? Do
Oh,
me
yeah.
a favor, Mortifer. You walk back into the market to sell your slaves.
Trade
Roll
check?
me. There is no trade check. But I know Mortifer's method. Roll me an intimidation.
I'm surprised you didn't have us do an appraise check for the slaves. I've just found that on the skill sheet.
Mortifer has worked these slaves and built their muscles. They're much stronger and better. Buy them from me. For a profit. For a profit. Mortifer's voice cracked.
People are unimpressed. So many of them literally saw somebody walk off and hand the chain over, and you walk back. So it's literally one of those like people are like, oh yeah, they're great. They're so much stronger. I was looking for someone a little bit more lithe.
Straight from the Ivory Palace.
I was like,
I like to imagine this is going on, and like Aina and Shashik are just sitting on a wall, like eating like a kebab and something, just like watching this whole mess.
So funny. I love how old school like DCs are set. There's like unbelievable, near impossible. So anyways, they're not eating your shit. Like it's just not happening.
Oh, 15's a wonderful number with a -1 modifier.
And so they not only does that not happen, but as Mortifer kind of gets frustrated, tries to like push it on more. Eventually, there's a raid in the slave market area as people come over and just try to like steal slaves. And so, more or less, you guys are some part of that resolution, whether it be let go of the slaves and walk away with them, or gather a couple more, or whatever it is you do. You guys end up leaving the situation.
We spent good money on them. I'll send
okay,
stuff
how
back
about-
to the palace.
We go back to the palace. We find some like of the clothes there. We dress them up nice. We have them walk with us. So we look like we have a bigger posse of like, yeah, we're really happy here.
So you're trying the Rimworld thing of, oh, we bought a slave, now you're our friend, right?
Yes.
No.
Their job as our slaves.
Just the boys, Mortifer, just the boys.
Okay, and we take.
Mortifer
our
spent
friend.
all of his money.
Take our friend. Take our friend.
well,
our friend.
well, you know now there's a lot of risks in slave flipping.
Investments.
This is why Mortifer didn't want to go into the family business.
Of slave flipping.
Merchants in general.
Everybody,
Just go. Just go.
quick break.
What? No.
Cancel it. Cancel it all.
And I'll mute myself. everybody. Welcome back.
Hello.
All right, Dark Sun, part 2. Let's go. So, you guys make your way back. Slaves, no slaves. Detail doesn't really matter at the moment. We'll say you have a handful of them, brought them back with you, and you're changing your plans slightly.
Did Jack use my money to buy them?
Yeah, don't worry.
That little shit. All right.
You specifically said that you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. I probably would have trusted Jack with my money too.
So, all right. So,
Damn it, Mike! You not be here cost me money.
now you guys are going to
How
go
much money
approach
does he
Cornell.
have?
You guys are going to go approach Cornell, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna
exactly.
go.
Gonna walk in with the squad.
So you guys go walking in. Just the four of you, correct?
One slave's holding a beatbox or a boombox over its head.
No
Maybe
slaves.
come back. No.
No
I
slaves.
can't
no
believe I'm
summons.
saying this, but no slaves.
Fine.
You know, it's funny.
So where you gonna get a boombox?
Shashrik so fervently says no slaves as Wade, as Mortifer's trying to bring them with him, that Jack actually is like, I'll take care of them, and takes the slaves and brings them to back to the Ivory Palace. Says, I'll watch after them, guys. You go on without me. And
Thanks.
you're welcome. So he got plot yetied, and you guys make your way back to the
What happened here doesn't verb so well.
which is why.
and then Mike's gonna jump back on and he's like, and then Jack tunnels out of the sand. Oh, hi guys.
Oh.
You guys, the three of you, go approaching towards the nobles' homes.
Is that
God,
what sex
this
is
is-
called in this game?
Oh,
Tunneling
God.
sand?
This past hour.
Shashik
is
likes
the
it dry.
Well, that explains
Dry and
Anakin's like, I hate oh no.
worst. Shashik,
Anyway,
how dry do you want it?
coarse and
that's a-
grainy and getting it everywhere.
Like a desert.
Desert. Yeah, that's right.
Like
I knew.
Cactus in the middle of the desert.
I knew Dave would get it.
Yeah, sorry, I don't get your old movie references, old man.
It's
I'm the
YouTube.
wind,
It's a
you're
YouTube
sand,
reference.
Storm baby.
And it's from like
no.
2013.
No one uses YouTube
No,
anymore.
it's even worse.
It's
It's
from
a
2013.
it's a gaming website reference.
No, how dry do you want it? That was
That's
a
a-
YouTube clip.
That was a Dorkly clip, which was a
Look, we're going in. Order first.
We're going in dry and without protection.
So you guys are going in. You guys are traveling to the area where Corno's man has control. So as you're approaching,
assume the position.
as you guys are approaching, eventually, because you're not trying to hide at all, and Mortifer's huge, so a group of them eventually notices you, way after when they should have. So by the time they actually approach you, you're pretty much to the closest of the homes out of the group of them. So they approach you. When I say a group, it's 22 people. Like a quick count. Mortifer gets lost along the way, but Shasha can count by threes. Gets confused at the end, because of that tail. But 22 men standing there approach you guys. They approach. Their weapons are out, but that's only because they have weapons that can't really be put away or not a place to put them. They don't have sheaths or anything. And they approach you as kind of like a lazy mob. Like, hey, what do you want here? Piss off.
I'm gonna have one of my top level summons ready to go, just like stand next to me in utility mode, just in case things go real bad.
And you would have walked up with that.
Yeah. So me in my heavy armor and with the big creature, still medium sized, but quite.
Do I have the ability to boom my voice, or are we nixing that idea?
Well, I mean,
I don't think we need it if they're all
yeah, I mean,
surrounded.
that was if we were gonna make a grandy. I was doing that to make a.
Okay, so I'm just talking to them normally, like.
If-
what
if
we're-
Your
if we're
voice is already loud enough to carry.
That's fair.
If we're not gonna make a scene, then yeah, no.
It's just
Mortifer.
22 men. So not Corno by any stretch. Go ahead.
Mortifer wishes to challenge Corno to one-on-one honorable combat. And you all know, or should, and Corno knows, who Mortifer is. And if he declines this combat, he deserves no followers.
Several of them are kind of nodding along. One of them is like, "Who's Mortifer?"
He'll just
Shashik
look
just
and wait
does
for one of the
that.
other ones to like say so. He'll not for like Shashuk or Einar to say anything, but for one of
Yeah.
them. Like,
One of them's like, he is, man. Context clues. And he's like, he's talking about himself in the third person. It makes it a
Scott's
little
learning.
confusing. And so,
Mortifer wishes for you to perform
This is turning
a
into a
knowledge
Minecraft.
gladiator check to know who Mortifer is.
you make your like announcement, and so they look to each other and just kind of like, all right.
This is when you tell Corno that Mortifer's looking for him.
Mortifer's companions stand by his side, not beneath him. Remember that as you serve Corno, who has lost his way.
Scott, so you know the music is loud. I know you can't see chat right now.
I'm gonna have to get chat back up then because I don't have mic. I'll fix that in a minute. So that's funny. I didn't even have it loud. I guess just this music's louder than what I usually play. So, anyways, my apologies. So, what you say that they look amongst each other again. Most of them look rather like confused because they're just not very bright. And like, all right, you wait here then.
Now there's Mortifer, but if he can speak, they should be able to speak basic.
Well, they speak.
Shashik's wise.
This is dumb basic that Mortifer speaks.
Remember, the average person has less than a 10 in this world. By the way, they understand what you're saying. The words that you're saying, they understand. And so they just kind of like, all right, well, then you wait here then. You know, one of them will call off to you. And literally all of them turn and head back to another building. You know, it's patrolling together. And
Yeah.
so all of them head back to a building. Not all of them go into it, but you can specifically see exactly which building it is that they go to. As you're kind of like,
Is it a building in this district?
oh yeah, absolutely. Yep, it's actually the one that's centermost and clearly is the would be the hardest one to get to. And so, like,
Does it have the statue by it?
It does actually. The statue is nearby. I mean, it's not like it's immediately adjacent, but it is nearby. Yes.
Does it look like Jack has been in the statue's rear?
You guys see them spend a little bit of time there,
Perception thing.
and then eventually, like, the tone of the people standing there changes, and eventually you see like several, not only those ones come out, but several more come out too, and they go to like nearby buildings, and then eventually like more people come out of those buildings, and then you start to see a group of people coming towards you. Like a quick count, it looks like maybe 5 dozen people coming towards you.
All right, this is when I.
This is like Mortifer's 5th battle.
This is when I'm gonna slink off to the side and cut them down that way, and I'm gonna try and sneak away.
It's time for Mortifer to be a wordsmith.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast Vigor on myself just in case things go south.
I guess I should get ready just in case things go south too.
That's actually a valid point. I also want to cast.
Level 5. How much? I can cast Vigor up to level 7. Is that right? 2 levels higher. So 35.
Oh, we're level 5 now. I guess I'll wait a bit because I don't know how much Mortifer's going to talk before.
How many power points does it take to cast Vigor that high?
7.
It's 1 power point per.
So they approach the group of you. As I was letting you guys finish, they approach the group of you. As they approach, one of them is going to call out, different one from before. Which of you is Mortifer?
With that, I'm going to enlarge as well.
For the record, Wade, the person that says that to you, do me a favor. Make me a intelligence check.
In a what check?
Intelligence check.
You shouldn't even say strength.
Is this not knowledge gladiators?
Hey.
Holy shit!
You actually,
job.
you actually know this person. So this is actually somebody, because he doesn't have knowledge gladiator, he has like profession gladiator, right? So so you actually know this person. This is somebody that was a not that you knew that they didn't have any reputation, but you've clearly seen them in the arena before. This is like a low level gladiator that clearly has just become, from what you can tell, another one of Corno's slaves. Maybe has some position of authority. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? But when he says, "Who's Mortifer?" you immediately can tell he's saying that as like a insult to you, like trying to be like, which of you is Mortifer, as opposed to genuinely asking the question, because he would know who you are.
All right. So as he asks that, I enlarge, and I want to address the rest of the crowd. Mortifer will make an example of this man for the insult he has bestowed upon me. If Corno sent you, instead of facing me himself, it shows how little he values you, how much he values himself. Stand back. Mortifer is going to kill this man, and it would be wise of you to side with Mortifer, or else you will face his wrath and that of his companions, and that would be blood wasted. But kills that count nonetheless.
So this
Amen.
is this is a diplomacy check.
Oh, I'm very good at that.
I'm so sorry that I know you wish it was something else, but it is.
Does he get a bonus for being big?
So not for diplomacy. It doesn't get a bonus.
know.
I'm just changing the DC on my side.
It's okay. Once I one-hit KO this asshole, then it'll be an intimidate check.
Yep. So he after you give your kind of like rallying speech, like that, to say these things, and he goes, Mortifer, I presume. This is
You know very well who Mortifer is. You couldn't clean Mortifer's boots in the arena. Now, you will see why. And Mortifer is going to swing and try to kill this man.
So it's funny because he's amongst a group of people, not like the center, near the front, but not the front. However, Mortifer, being as large as he is and having a reach weapon, can hit things, I believe, up to 30 feet away. So
Enlarged.
Yep, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like with a full everything, you hit things up to like 30 feet away. So it doesn't matter where in the crowd he is, you can hit him. So you single out this one target, sir. You make your
Okay, I will spend 1 power point for inevitable strike to give a +5. Because I want to make sure, if I'm going to make an example of this guy, I want to make an
You
example.
gotta do it right.
All right.
Considering I hear these yellings, I am gonna cast a spell.
Boom, boom. Okay, and I'm also going to reckless offense, so my AC is going to be -4. I'll get a +2 on the melee attack.
I hate to be that guy. Technically speaking, you have to roll initiative first. Funny enough, I don't have roll 20.
Combat hasn't initiated, though. This would be like the pre-combat.
Because he could
It's
technically
like
react.
as you're swinging,
Yeah.
the enemy. might
Because
move
you're not catching by
faster.
surprise. He's ready. He's ready.
That's
for
fair.
fight.
All right.
Exactly.
Do you want us to all roll initiative?
Yes, let's all roll.
Yeah, everybody roll. But again,
Have
we're
you
allowing
cleared-
Mortifer to go first. We all understand that Mortifer's going to take the first action, unless Ollie gets to, then he can do his spell. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Have you cleared?
I'm doing it right now.
God
Cool.
damn it.
It's okay. Mortifer's is fine. I'll just delete the other ones. So why don't you guys all roll yours? Don't forget to click your token.
No, so did I manage to get away with the stealth run I did before? It was a 21.
Womp womp.
My
I did it
apologies.
while they were going back in to get.
Oh, that's just yeah. You were easily able to slink off, and nobody was even watching you guys.
Exactly.
So there's your little mob right there on your. Okay.
Oh god, that's not a little mob.
Well,
What is that?
Where is this happening?
It's funny because it's under the character sheet for me, so it's just like the peripheral vision of my screen. There was just movement.
I'm down here on top of the Hall of Conquest. I'm going to move my token back.
Scott just likes to mess around with the screen that only we see.
Yeah, it's just fun. All right. So, anyways, the Shashrik, you got to go first. You easily slunked away before. Slanked.
All I do is cast this spell, which
Yep.
is Consulting a Morpho, which is the one you had a bad guy use against me, which basically I think is a 1 in 4 mischance on every attack against me.
So,
And I guess I'd move to a position where maybe I can stab someone next turn. You know, from stealth.
All right, we ready?
he sees your attack coming. He did not intend to fight you as an individual person. He intended for the whole mob. So he just sees you kind of like getting ready to attack. He doesn't know it's coming to him directly. He just sees you getting ready to attack. And so he actually is just going to like yell to the rest of the group. He's like, "Ends this!" It's like the group. So all of them kind of like start swarming forward around you. Now,
Okay.
the way mobs work, it's a little bit different than fighting every individual person. That would be absolutely obnoxious. So the way that mobs actually work is when they kind of get you into their area, that they surround you, they just automatically do damage every round that they're there because they're just all attacking you all at once constantly.
Can't block that many hits.
Swarm and mob attacks are actually pretty cool. They're immune to certain things that, anyways, so now if you want to isolate an individual person in a mob, you're welcome to do that. That's a different thing than attacking.
I'm isolating that guy for my attack.
So anyways, as they
Don't
come
worry,
rushing
Blue, I got
forward
you.
and they swarm around, they literally just start like attacking at you guys because of what it was that was just said, the fact that he just said attack and so on and so forth. They do so automatically I am going to roll the damage. Here we go. And you guys auto take this. 15 points of damage. Now both of you guys have what's it called? Vigor up, so that does come off of vigor, and if you have any DR, that does come off of the DR too. So Wade, you would take only 13 off of your vigor, your temp HP. Okay.
Got it.
So are they swarming? Like I imagined he was like up ahead of us.
I mean,
Like what?
Not by enough in a battle.
Okay. So we're all being swarmed. All right.
not Shasha because he slunk away. So you, your creature, and Mortifer are all getting kind of swarmed at once. Another thing to note about mobs and swarms, and this affects you, Dave, is that in that area to cast spells or anything in that area requires a concentration check. But we'll worry about that. Oh, right now it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Oh no! You actually rolled really shitty, Mortifer.
I rolled really.
All right. So I've
after
got
they
an
come up
additional +7 coming on this attack.
Yep. Oh.
So
What? Oh.
Inevitable strike.
Yep.
inevitable strike and reckless offense.
Yep. Gorgeous. Okay.
So that's a 25.
That's a hit.
Ain't no human getting a 25 AC.
There we go.
20.
That's a lot
Clean.
of damage. All right. You kill the guy.
I didn't even do my extra damage maul thing. This was just a.
He's just a dude. You know what I mean? He's tougher than the others, so he has more health points, higher AC, all that stuff. But
Can I do an intimidate on the same roll, or is that an action?
technically speaking, intimidating immediately afterwards, you have the ability to once a day bonus action and swift action intimidate, but you spent your swift action to use sudden strike. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. There are feats that let you do that.
Yeah.
It's not something you.
Fair
can...
enough.
So that plays out. Einar, you're being swarmed by people. You see him swing down and intentionally only kill one when easily Mortifer could swath through and start crushing this group.
Talking's a
of people
free
around.
action, though, right?
Talking is, but making a check, which is what you're trying to do, is
Right, but I'm going to talk to Einar. Einar, can you enhance my voice?
Yes. I'll do the best I can. Yeah. So I'm going to try to enhance his voice.
okay. You have to make your concentration check for me, sir. That's a gorgeous concentration check. You easily succeed.
All right. So I cast. Hold on a sec. I will.
Just so the DC was 20 plus spell level, which is
Well,
what, 0?
Second level spell.
Oh, okay. So you succeed though.
So actually, I control all sound. So I actually will dim the sound of the mob, and focus all the sound in his voice.
That's gorgeous. Okay, so and this is a huge range. Oh, it's a range that affects. Does it affect that whole area? Let's see.
It would be
believe it
150
does.
feet.
Yeah.
It's a second level spell.
Yeah. No. It does. I was just confirming. Yeah. All right. That's amazing. All right. So one sound or mixture of related sounds. So technically, one casting would be able to dim the sound of them or enhance his voice for single casting.
Okay. Well, so I guess I'd focus on his voice then.
Okay. So ignore the mob and just enhance his voice. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yep. And I do so.
After.
Oh, and I mean, to make it very clear to stay away from me. I mean, I have the summon. Just, I mean, it has 2 attacks. It's going to attempt to kill 2 people, which it'll likely.
Do you want it to attack the mob, or do you want it to do something like defend you, like intentionally keep them off of you?
Yeah. It'll. Be honest, I guess what I'd want to literally do is literally just have it pick me up and put me on its shoulder,
Okay. So it's like running safety for you, whether
Yeah.
it be swatting people back or like hoisting you up if it can, and so on and so forth. So I'll have that be a positive effect for you in a moment. After you goes back to Shashik. Shashik, you doing anything while Mortifer's kind of like having his voice, like breathing deep and getting ready to yell?
I'm just checking. There's really no kind of concentration for these kind of psychic spells, is there?
Can you do fear on more than one target at a time, or is it?
Technically, yes.
He has
I have a spell to do that.
He's
But I'd
there.
have to be in the middle of the mob for it to really work, and I'm not.
Well, you can move up to them. That'd be no. That wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, actually, let me just check how this works.
I'm trying to get as many bonuses to this intimidate.
You know
check
what?
as I can
Consider
get.
that would make sense. And actually, I was looking at doing it, and I was about to pussy out and be like, I'm gonna cast more buffs. When like the fight starts, but no, I'll run into the middle of them as much as I can. I don't know if I need to do any kind of check for that with it being.
If you actually want to, instead of like kind of like wading in, if you want to like just like get in so you're in the midst of them, I would allow that to be an acrobatics check or whatever, the athletics check, whatever it's called.
Acrobatics in this
Acrobatics check, yep.
Yeah, because I could literally be like from wherever my vantage place off, like jump off a roof or something, trying to get in the middle of them.
I imagine it's much like that one guy that was on in Braveheart. You know, when that fight first starts, is one of the the Irish guy. He goes running into the combat and literally starts with like a jumping in sort of. So you like go into the wade. None of them have their attention on you. So you just kind of like and you jump into the middle of them. You like kind of like cut your way through the bodies to get like you kind of like, as there's people around you.
Shacking the back of people's legs and things. And
Just
then,
to get amongst them. I imagine you cast your spell as you were like making your way in, so you didn't have to deal with.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
concentration.
But basically, when I'm in a position where I can hit as many of them as possible, it's a 10-foot radius around me.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone needs to give me everyone I designate. So my boys, not designated, make a will save or become dazed.
Yep. So spells or effects that affected area, they actually are more they're
Effective
vulnerable
against
to.
mobs.
So
It's basically a swarm of men is what we're fighting.
yep, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Which makes sense. That's a good check.
Damn.
Oh wow.
My DC is 15 for that.
no.
So.
Is the DC a flat 15? I actually think the DC is a little higher than that, isn't it?
I mean, the sheet tells me it's a 15. If it's different than that,
Because
Will
of your
negate-
ability. Does
Oh,
that give
you're-
everybody minus-
no. Well, no, they just have a minus to it. They have a -2 against.
That's effectively
-4
a
against it. Yeah.
So it's actually a DC 19.
So it's
So 1 second, my apologies.
technically yes, but no, they have a -4.
Yeah.
I get what you guys are saying,
Yep. So I
but the
gave them-
-4 wouldn't have even been a.
So the individuals aren't very strong-willed. The mob is stronger will, just mob mentality, stronger will. So they took a penalty to their wisdom save. Unfortunately, they just happened to roll very high on the modifier.
It's literally what Wade was talking about earlier. I think maybe off stream. You're less scared when you're scared with someone else.
Yeah.
That is a fact. It's mob mentality. It's a frightening thing. So, anyways, unfortunately, sorry, Ollie, you ADUA in there. It does not
It's
work.
worth a try in it.
All right, that brings us to the actual mob.
I'll just do it again next turn.
Mob auto does the 4d6. Dave, you take half of this because you
Hey,
have your thing
please
right-
roll
Oh!
me please roll me a d4, Scott, because I have a 1 in 4 chance to not take any damage from that. I don't know which one I wanted, but it's definitely not a 2.
So anyways, so you guys, Wade, that's 8 off of your temp HP. For you, that's 5. For you, that's 10. Okay. I don't know if you had temp HP. And then, of course, your beastie thing is taking its hits too. All right, that is your turn, Wade.
All right. So Mortifer will use Intimidate. Is there any bonus from the loud voice I have?
Well, it gives a base +4 to stealth checks, and I would argue that it makes sense for that to be similar for the intimidate check.
Oh, because you can use it to lower sound, but I'm using it to make it
Yes,
more.
yeah, you're
horrifying.
making it louder. So I would argue that it gives an example for what bonus it gives to stealth. I would argue it's the same bonus to intimidate.
I think that makes sense.
And don't forget, they take the people around you have -4 to their saves as well because of Ollie. So, because he's in the middle of them, that's what
Is
him
there a
being
save for Intimidate?
It's basically
So intimidate is actually like so pretty much their DC drops down by 4 because of you.
Oh,
Because of
gotcha.
him being there.
You can use intimidate to mechanically make a person shaken.
Oh, I am also enlarged. Does that increase intimidate?
It does. Yep. You get an additional +4. You always get to add
Plus
that.
8 to
You're
intimidate
on a-
right now.
Yep. 8 on top
So whenever
of
I
whatever you
roll plus
You're on a +8, and they have a -4.
Got it. All right. Mortifer has made his example. Stand down and stand by Mortifer's side, and we will take down the coward Corno.
91. So
22.
so that's a 22, as you said. They're also getting a -4, so it's effectively a 26. But beyond that, you haven't defended yourself.
No, and their attacks are technically bouncing off of me right now.
Yeah, you have not defended yourself. Your temporary health points and your natural DR that you have from your ability for maintaining sonic focus, you're not even defending yourself. They're literally the mobs attacking you, and you don't even care. You're ignoring them at this point. Maybe getting a little worried in case this doesn't work. You're too stubborn to get worried. But you're not even defending yourself. You say you killed the person you wanted to, isolated, and you just shout out these words. I will actually say it's enough to intimidation push them from a hostile back to an unfriendly status, or at least a non-attacking status. They actually stop. They just kind of like you break up that mob mentality violence, where they kind of like break and they like step back and they're kind of like shocked for a second as they're trying to like take in like, wait, what were we just doing? It's most people in mobs do like, what the hell did I just do? So you kind of get through to them enough that they're willing to listen to you again. But more importantly, your words, because the way he amplified you, can be heard throughout the rest of his men as well and everywhere else in this area, which is, of course, what your goal was. The stage is still yours.
Now that you're done with your fruitless endeavor of trying to hurt Mortifer and his companions, you have the opportunity to join us. To take Corno down, who has mistreated all of you and shown no honor. With like no honor, he'll slam his hammer into the ground.
So
This is your chance to put your lives, which have been wasted thus far, to meaning.
So, bad cop, good cop is an actual tactic that exists, right? Both in game and in real life. Because you can swift action intimidate, you can also, on your turn, diplomacy all in one turn, which is awesome. I'm giving you the bad cop, good cop bonus, which is the +4. I'm also going to give you an additional +4 because of, what just played out, like the situational. Roll the +8, sir.
For which one, intimidate or diplomacy?
Diplomacy.
I need it. My diplomacy's bad.
It's some rumblings amongst them, of how Corno does actually treat them poorly, and fuck Corno, and so why are we doing this? And there actually is a bit of rumbling. Like, you can see that you've clearly gained the sway of the crowd to, at the very least, no longer being engaging in this anymore. As for whether or not you've pushed them so far as to start marching back the other direction, you don't think that you've gotten them quite there yet. Do you or anybody else wish to continue, talking?
I
would-
would like to try again.
At this point, considering they back down, I would kind of smack Mortifer on the leg and be like, enough of them, and kind of point to the building they were at. And it's like, let's go to him.
When you say that, because obviously they hear it, the people immediately around you kind of like open the way, and others like, huh? And just kind of like open the way as well. Understand that they're just doing that for you.
It's like a reverse Khaleesi moment.
I'll like walk through without saying anything until like I get to the end, and then I'll like pause. This is your chance to be something great and to fight alongside Mortifer, Einar, and Shashuk. These names will be legends, and yours could be too. It starts today.
They hear the words that you say. You make your you got to make another diplomacy check. Is that your plan here?
Sure.
Okay. Because you're trying to convince them. It's technically diplomacy.
I feel
Or,
like
or
threatening
you don't
them-
have to. You don't have to make a diplomacy check. You could just let your words sit.
I think that's a better idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, set the stage for what happens after we take Corno's head and put it in his ass.
Inside of his ass.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that, then Mortifer will just continue walking on.
Okay. So is it just like a smooth, calm walk as you go?
I imagine so, unless there's any hiccups.
Okay.
Where are you walking to?
The building where I
no,
assumed they went to tell
we
Corno.
think Corno's in.
Okay. So you start walking in that direction and making your way towards there. So as you're walking that direction, making your way towards the group of them, you're not making any show of it beyond just like heading towards the building. So you do so, and they just watch after you. You know what I mean? Just watching to see what it is that you guys are like, how this is all going to play out. Some of them walk closer. Some of them kind of like hang back. Others like run away. Here's our chance and go.
This is our chance.
And so that's kind of like the whole mob behind you. But then as you approach towards the building, you see that there are several of them, like because they've obviously heard what was happening, booming through the walls and shit like that. Others have come out and have their weapons brandished and are looking at you as you're making your way towards the building. They look like they might be planning to intercept your
How many
path.
people did we have attacking us in the mob? Roughly.
About 60.
And
Between
how many are standing between us and the place right now?
they're very. I'm gonna say 60 again, but they're very sparse. It's not like immediately in front of you, 15 or so, like kind of like in front of that building, meant to be a defense. But like the others are like very sparse and about, and kind of like coming out of their own buildings and looking.
Well, your voice is going to echo for up to 5 minutes.
Okay, so I've still got the booming voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you still your
This will
turn.
be an intimidate.
Okay.
We just walked through half of your people without a scratch. You think this half will stand a chance? Step aside or join us, because the other alternative is death. And let us face Corno, an honorary combat the way it should be. Do not make Mortifer ask again.
Okay, so I imagine because there was a lot of words, you kind of move up to a point and then stop and say this.
Yeah.
Okay, roll your intimidation check, sir.
All right, so it's a +4 from being large and a +4 from the auditory bonus.
Correct.
There you go.
So 29.
29. The 15 in front of the building move, like open up, but more importantly, others that are just genuinely curious of what's happening start pouring out of the buildings as well. Over the course of the next 30 seconds or so, as people pour out of the buildings, that wasn't half back there and half up here. There's easily 200 people here now, standing outside watching what's going on. Again, he has the biggest numbers out of everybody, and there's easily 200. There's definitely a lot more coming out of the buildings in this area, and he has influence more than just in the Queen's Hill. So that happens, and then, but you don't see, I should say, Corno coming out of the building that you believe he's in yet.
All right. Corno, I, Mortifer, have braved your army of men and stand unscathed at your door while you cower inside behind the backs of those you should call friends. Step outside and face me, or I will come in after you.
That is... Please, Dave.
Can I use the other effect as he finishes that speech, the other effect of control sound to shatter all the glass of the building, if it has any?
Like us as glad. Actually,
It's a
this is
noble house.
building.
These are noble homes.
So you just, literally as he finishes, you just instantly flip it to an ultrasonic sound that shatters all the glass.
Yes.
That is so cool!
That is pretty fucking badass.
Oh my god! Okay. Wade.
So he like when he like says the last one and he slams, like imagine you'd punctuate it with a slam of your
Oh yeah.
Same
of
as
your
last two
maul.
times, yeah.
Oh, Mortifer
At
was
the moment of
definitely-
the slam, I release the I release the spell into its shatter use.
All right, Wade, roll me a gladiator, profession gladiator roll, because that was you calling a challenge. You
Okay.
do get a modifier because
I
of.
was gonna say, what bonus do I get for the sound, the enlarged, and Dave's fucking badass glass shattering?
Oh, you get quite so. I'm going to allow his sound thing to give you that +4, but cross to a skill that it doesn't usually apply to, right? But then also everything leading up into this point, I'm going to give you again a situational bonus of it's just a challenge. So I'm going to give you a +2 for that, so 6 total.
Okay, there's nothing for being enlarged, I'm guessing, because that
No,
wouldn't really make
not
sense
for
for a
gladiator
professional
match.
gladiator.
All right, let's go, boy. Oh,
11.
No. This is 15. That was a 4 and a
Oh.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the 4 and the 2. Okay, so there you go, 15. I rolled a 3 for the record, everybody. Out there in chat, that was a 3.
So
I really wanted that to be a good roll.
Yeah. But 15 is not bad though. 15 actually is not bad. So one of the things that you have to know is like having proficient gladiator, like it gets people to start swaying for you. So what you actually hear is some people starting to like chant or bang their weapons and stuff like that. You actually gain some. You don't. Or what I should say is that the crowd, the way it works is actually sways that go this way or that way to whatever degree. The crowd was naturally in his corner, even if they didn't seem it because they were allowing the fight. You've actually brought it to a neutral. So they're actually doing like enough like cheering and whatnot for you. You brought it to a neutral. And you're going to see the fun mechanics for this in a moment. So you, when the chants start happening and everything, he can't ignore that any longer. This has just gone on way too far. So he starts making his way, unfortunately, out of his comfortable home to stands there before you. He is wearing the finest armor he's been able to acquire at this point. He's got very fine weapon that he's been able to acquire up to this point. And he's looking, again, he's a big barrel-chested
He's a mole,
kind
isn't
of... Yep. He's a big barrel-chested kind of guy. He's not small by any stretch. Moles are technically medium-sized, but count as large size for all the benefits. So
They're
like,
basically, if you imagine a medium-sized box, they're like right up to the edge, on every side. They're real big.
Well, I'm huge right now, so he's still not big compared to me.
Nah.
Big.
No, he still has to look up to you. But again, he sits at 8 feet normally. So again, he towers over the people around him, or most of the people around him, right? He's
That's pretty big.
alpha male. But then you're like big to him. So he steps out of the building, which of course is like a slight duck under for him, usually a big one for you. And he steps out and he looks at you and kind of like stretches his back. You can hear like the cracking of the of like his bones as he stretches his back muscles, and you can see kind of rolling his shoulders, looks up at you, completely unimpressed whatsoever. And he's like, I hear you're talking a big game out here, Mortifer. You know this isn't the arena.
At least I chose to be out here without hiding behind others.
Hiding.
Ooh. You hear it throughout the crowd.
We've heard your men muttering. How often do you take care of your own business without sending someone else to do your dirty work, Corno? Have you no honor at all?
He shakes his head and says, you don't understand what leadership is.
Your men don't stand by you very strongly, so clearly you do not either.
There will be dissenters in any group. And he looks amongst them and says, they'll be punished.
Mortifer will look. They outnumber you as they outnumbered me. Yet, they stood down for me. They're strong enough not to stand down for you. But when I'm finished, there will not be much left.
So, what you actually just did, your words there, were intentionally meant to sway the crowd, even if you did not think of that mechanically.
No, I was. Well, not mechanically, but I was. Mortifer's trying to get the crowd on his side.
That is not a gladiatorial, because like the way that it kind of played out. That was more of a persuasion check, though. So, I'll let you do that one.
Which one's persuasion?
My apologies, diplomacy. It's just different systems.
All right, I don't have the booming voice anymore.
Yeah. The fact that Mortifer, you dumped charisma is completely out of sync with the way you play this character.
Yeah, wasn't intentional. Well, he's wise, but he still shouldn't be this charismatic.
You're very charismatic.
That's just Wade. So that's my only stat. Wade's got like an 8 and everything, but he's got like a really high.
I'll tell you this right now. Just like, for example, I can never dump intelligence on a character I play because I'm going to play them intelligently no matter what I do. I think this should be a lesson to you that never dump charisma on a character because you're always going to be charismatic.
If it's something that you cannot get yourself out of, you know what I mean?
It's probably true.
Just like I usually don't ever dump whatever the wisdom stat is for whatever system because I'm usually obnoxiously cautious. You know what I mean?
I'll start playing
survival
Mortifer.
oriented.
Just when you do
Mortifer. I'll get his charisma up. Don't you worry, guys. I'll make it up to him.
But anyways, so why don't you
Diplomacy check.
Oh yeah. So do I have any bonuses on this before I roll so that way people know?
The crowd is neither for you or against you. Unfortunately, there's nothing. I would give you a continuous situational +2. You know
I'll
what I mean?
take it.
+1. Come on. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually sway the crowd to be now in your favor by a little bit. So that actually changes things. What this means is that if a combat ensues, an actual combat ensues, you actually have a +1s to your checks against this guy because you're getting a morale bonus. This is another stat. This is another one of those modifiers that exist in Pathfinder 3.0. That's a morale bonus. They're giving you a morale bonus. If you were to succeed again, not only do you increase your morale bonus to a +1, you impose a -1 to him. But
Ooh, okay.
That's why there's like perks to having Profession Gladiator and stuff like that. So anyways, so
Only
you actually
Mortifer's
have people cheer
diplomacy
for you.
wasn't -1. That'd be great.
My apologies.
If only Mortifer's diplomacy wasn't overall a -1, that would be great. I don't know if I can roll 18s all night.
Probably not. So use them waste them on these so you can just like not you roll low in combat. That'll
Probably
work out.
will.
Yeah. So they actually start chanting.
This is way more important than combat, as far as I'm concerned.
In my opinion too. So
I kind of feel that way as well.
they start chanting for you. No, please understands the about 450 or so that have come out and are watching what's going on right now are starting to chant Mortifer, but not all of them. Maybe like
Oh,
a
that makes
sixth
sense.
of them are
That makes
actually
sense.
actively chanting your name. Others like wooted or hollered or like fuck up, or something like that in the moments, but little things.
He's not our champion.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody else says, "Whoop his ass, Corno." There's like there's an attempt to have like Corno go back.
It's like a high school brawl out in the yard.
Make
Unfortunately,
Rom great again.
this is one of the brilliant parts of Wade. Okay, I take it back. Wade's an idiot. Corno.
Just
Corno,
one of the brilliant parts of Wade. Please, Scott, continue. Compliment me.
Corno is not anywhere near as amazing as Mortifer.
It's a good chantable name.
It's such a
No one
King
cares.
Gold.
Cornholio.
It's so good. So unfortunately, even though there are people chanting for him, it just doesn't have that ring, and you can feel it. You can actually
That
feel
soft
it.
N in the middle of a name, it just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
You need a hard
Hard
consonant, a nice
T.
hard T. Mortifer.
You need a hard T to be as hardy as Mortifer.
So
Buy Mortifer's used cars today.
he starts
Shows everyone chanting our Mortifer.
he starts feeling the crowd himself turning in your favor. Both of you guys are familiar with these things. These are tactics that you used in combat, literally to save your lives before. So understanding what's about to happen, he turns his attention from you, though speaking to you, and turns his attention to the crowd, and says, "You hear this? Ha!" So somewhat to the crowd, mostly to you. You hear this? Ha! He comes here trying to challenge me again, thinking that this is a gladiatorial match. And then he points his weapon at you, points his axe over in your direction. He's like, "This is not a gladiatorial match, Mortifer. This is my realm. This is my lands. They serve me because it has benefited well. It has benefited them greatly. Should they serve you, the one who unleashed them from the ivory palace, the one who actually called them to roll the death throughout the city as they have. I don't think they want to follow someone such as you, who bends your knee to those evil spawn. And so he actually tries to make his opposed. So he says that you actually get to counter him, and based off whatever you say, and it becomes an opposed gladiatorial match. Check. What do you say in retort, or do, because you don't always have to speak.
I think Mortifer will ready his weapon, and he'll kind of like turn and look out at the crowd. Corno knows very little of what Mortifer has done, or what Mortifer is about. Mortifer has shown more grace and honor in the 10 minutes of walking to his front door than Corno has shown in the... How long has it been since the Queen film?
Oh, God. 2 months?
In the months since he's been out of the arena. Enough talk, Corno. You're trying to get the crowd to face me again because you're too afraid. They will see, and they will know who to stand by and who not to lay beneath.
So, roll me your gladiator check. Don't forget situational 2 because of literally all the things that you just stated there. And don't forget your morale +1.
Okay, so +3.
Circumstance. It's not situational, circumstance. I just remember the word. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is going to be a very hard roll for me to beat with my modifier. Okay.
I thought you were going to roll a natty 1, and I was really happy, and then it moved to a 13.
You sway the crowd more in your favor. More people start chanting Mortifer, but more importantly, some of the people alter their chant from Corno, Corno to corny, corny, corny. and it literally starts.
How long were you planning that? Was that from the start?
When he made that name, he's like, one day there will be a battle where they chant corny.
We need like Kurt Angle to come in. He's like corny, corny, corny. Sorry.
That's terrible.
Sorry, that defines me.
So now that I'm proud on my side, I'm going to really shit up the combat and get my ass killed. And
The
then you
one
guys are in a
time-
really awkward position.
The one time Scott remembers to name a character, it's based around a pun in the future.
Wait,
Not even mad.
Ollie, I just love what just played out right there because that's my favorite episode of Seinfeld. Without tangenting for too long, when George holds on to like a 25-cent word for way too long and then uses it, and Seinfeld calls him out for it. It's literally my favorite episode of Seinfeld. So, thank you for that. Moving on. So I'm George in this situation. I now don't like it.
I'm glad, because I'm usually George.
Oh, you're Seinfeld now.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade.
So what is the deal with airline food?
So moving on.
What's the deal with gladiator matches?
So you
Good.
You ever notice that 2 guys go in and 1 guy goes out? All right.
We're just devolving at this point.
Scott, I would have loved it if you had this character come out for the first time and talk, and you just did.
And it
Seinfeld.
was Jerry.
Yeah, he just talks like Seinfeld the whole time.
Oh, I think I
He's
know
like-
what my next
he's like,
Mortifer
Oh
show is.
no.
You come into my house.
I can't do a Seinfeld impression. Actually, Ollie, that was the best Seinfeld impression I've heard from a non-famous person so far.
Oh.
So,
What's the deal?
I didn't mean that as an insult. I meant like on TV person.
No, I get you.
Yeah, sorry.
I get you.
So
That was the
so,
best impression he's ever heard from someone who doesn't mean shit to him.
From a fucking pleb.
That's what I meant. So moving on. Oh god, that's so funny. So it flips on them. You get +2s. He gets -1s. That's absolutely awful. It comes to terms where you guys literally square off. Have your weapons at the ready, and it's time for the two of you
Oh, sorry. I thought we were Yu-Gi-Oh-ing.
to take your second break, and we'll see you all in just a couple of minutes to see how this thing plays out. So,
I play
all my
Pot of
good
Greed.
rolls. I've used all my good rolls, Chad.
I suppose send what is it? Make prayers to the RNG god. So RNG's
I rolled 1-3. I rolled 1-3.
see y'all shortly. Bye. Oop. was a quick turn. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the gladiatorial arena. Mortal, Cordy.
Only on pay-per-view.
God, that's so bad.
Yeah. Oh, God. Sometimes I love myself. All right. Wade, let's roll for initiative, sir.
All right, I'm really good at rolling for initiative. I always get a really high initiative roll.
Do you mind if I roll 2 just in case shit goes down and just so I'm in initiative? I'm likely not going to do anything.
Rude. I'm not even going to roll.
The fact that you're even asking that question, I think makes everybody angry.
I don't know. I'm due for some below 10 rolls, I think.
All right. I'm going to roll my initiative.
Oh, that's Einar. Damn it, I thought that was...
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, so he gets a +2. I thought we were all 3 going to be 14s. I was really excited.
That would have been funny. Okay. So he gets...
I'm honestly like, even though I just rolled in for the sake of it, you can skip me. I don't plan to do anything unless I'll announce it.
I get what you're saying. It's more or less, unless you say you're doing something, we're just assuming you're not here.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that your creature was fighting that mob thing, it triggered it to go back to normal time, and so it's already poofed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, just confirming that. So there he is, standing with his obsidian great axe that he has, and as a reminder, he is a mole, so his great axe is larger than a typical axe size. So it's actually a large-sized axe.
Yeah. Pathfinder, where powerful build actually is a good ability.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So anyways, so he's standing there with his great axe and everything, and preparing to charge at you. Does so, kind of like squares himself off, runs and charges immediately at you as close as he can. Now, you provoke attack of opportunity when people leave your threatened area, but not when they. Oh, sorry, when they leave a threatened area, but not when they enter it, right? Hold on. Nope, because he technically is going from a threatened square to a threatened square. He provokes attack of opportunity. Wade, you actually can hit him or swing at him, I should say, before he even gets to you.
Okay, I will do that. I'm assuming he is not count as a follower of Abic Ray or whatever, right?
No.
However, I do have the ability to use Strength of my enemy.
Oh, I forgot that I gave you that.
What's
Wait,
that?
is it as a bonus action, though? You have to do that on your turn.
It's a swift action.
Yep, so you have to do that on your turn.
You only have a standard action right now.
All right, fair enough.
But you do have a +2 from the.
Actually, you don't have any of those. Is it a reaction?
This is just an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I
This is
forget.
just a standard roll.
It's
I
not
know.
an immediate action. It's not a swift. It's just an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I couldn't remember how it all fucking worked. There you go.
Well, that is a gorgeous chance to hit.
Magnificent.
I imagine I did.
Ends it. Oh, you.
Did you want to put some PowerPoints in it too?
Am I allowed to do? I don't know if I can do that without.
It's not a bonus action. It's just that you can do it.
So I can use my PowerPoint to increase the damage.
Yes, you can do that. Whole whatever is built into the. Because it doesn't require you to expend focus, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's
I
a
don't have it.
separate.
I've never had that written down.
That's a separate ability. Yep.
As
I'm
far as I
confusing
know,
with your
all it
feet.
does, the
Yep.
only cost is the
good.
PowerPoint
Yep.
cost.
You spend 2 power points to increase its damage by 2d6.
Okay, so
It's not explicitly.
I'm going to roll
Correct.
damage, and then I need to roll an additional 2d6, unless you want me to roll a flat 4d6 and then add 8.
Did you not put it on your character?
I don't
It
have.
only comes up sometimes.
You know,
I've got so many bonus damages that I do not have it on there because I would have to have it for regular size,
do
large
it normal,
size.
and then slash roll 2d6 afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Otherwise, I'd have 4 different attacks for each.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep,
not
yep, yep.
worth.
I get it. I get it. All right.
Okay.
So just
So
roll
damage.
damage plus 2d6. God, it always looks so crazy when you roll
So
damage.
I actually rolled less, being large, so 18.
Did anybody see that critical hit?
No, because does not have a dice one. Oh, if only,
Oh, the damage
right?
from the, yeah.
If only, right? The critical hit is 131 damage.
Oh my god! If you critical hit you with 131 damage, that's feasible? Your character can do that? It's gonna be broken.
Apparently?
It's gonna be broken. It's not possible.
Well,
Like,
look at
you
the-
rolled so many 6s.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
I don't know that
Yeah, can you mouse over that for chat? That is a lot of green.
It unfortunately doesn't work because I have it popped out.
Ah.
So they just see like.
I
nothing.
don't know that is right. Maybe it is.
No, it is.
No,
You
it
just got
is.
a really good roll on the crit, which doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I
Because you
just
didn't crit.
it just scared me to see 131 as an unmodified roll. Oh my
If
god.
only I did roll a 25. If I'd rolled too high or 718, I could.
You got a 24 damage either way, for free, essentially, so...
Yeah.
There you go. So 24.
You still hit him for like you just said 24 points of damage. So
That's nearly a whole Shashik.
that's funny.
That's half of a mortifer.
So because he did that, you guys are actually able to make a what is it called? What is it called? A BAB. You guys are actually all able to make a BAB check on this guy, except for you, Wade. A BAB check is your base attack bonus, which I think for you is like a 3. Or you can make a gladiator check if you prefer.
Do we actually roll the Babbitt our base attack bonus?
Yes, you roll just your BAB.
You want me to roll Profession Gladiator?
If it's better than BAB, then yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's a bad button.
I don't think you can. I don't think that's a thing you do in
Then
Pathfinder.
it is for reading people's
Yeah, we can just
combat
do
of
it
skill.
separately.
All right. So I'll just roll.
It's
I'll
just not...
roll-
It's
roll
just
a
not the
D20.
unique button.
I got a 13 unless there's any bonuses to Gladiator.
I'm just gonna wait to see what if they get anything. Shashrik just knows nothing. Nothing bad happens.
I'm just enjoying the show.
So Shashrik's in the moment. He's like, "Oh, you got popcorn? Yeah."
Got a bucket of chicken. Like, I'm ready.
Everyone's distracted. He's like going around picking pockets and stuff.
No, I think he's also kind of involved. So
I'm too invested.
Einar and Mortifer, one of the things that you notice based off the way that, granted, you hit him. There's no question. You hit him. You dealt a pretty decisive blow. But one of the things that you notice is just the way he quickly moved and tried to dodge out of the way of the attack. As a reminder, while moles are their own race, they are actually half dwarf, half humans in this world. Half dwarf, half humans. But the way that he moved, the way that he tried to dodge out of the way of the attack, you quickly realize he moves the way a dwarf would move. And I know that sounds kind of goofy, but dwarves are very adept at fighting giants. And you, sir, are a giant.
Very dangerous over short distances.
Funny. So he finishes his charge attack and will attack you.
All right. This is gonna hurt because that mob took all of my temp HP down.
It did. And you obviously didn't want to re-add it because it would make you look like you were using magic. Okay, well, my first roll was absolutely hot garbage. Ugh. Does a 17 hit? Oh, wait, but charging gives me a +2. Does a 19 hit?
I have an AC of 19.
Oh, then it hits. Sweet. Ooh, good. So
That's a garbage roll?
No, the first roll was garbage.
Okay, I was gonna say if that was the garbage roll, then
No. So he rushes forward and swings at you with the attack. However, as you smashed him with your weapon, you actually threw his balance off sideways while he was charging at you. That unfortunately made it so his attack kind of came out wide, and so you were easily able to step out of the way of it. But he was able to recover himself, and usually the end of a charge attacking twice is that's not easy to do. There's so much momentum behind that first blow, having all that force behind it. He was able to not only catch himself after he missed, but swing a second time and hit you. It is a testament to his prowess. He's going to deal his damage now. Here we go. Hold on. Yep. Oh! 17 minus 2 for you is 15. How much temp HP do you still have left?
-1.
Okay, so you take 1 health point. 1 actual point of damage. Alright. Wade, that was his turn as he charged forward, swung, and hit you. Dealt a blow. There was cheers and whatnot. Cheers when you hit him. A little bit of laughter because it threw him out sideways, and he missed you because of the way that you blew into him. But then when he came back around and hit you, the cheers erupted everywhere. It was like a solid blow at the end of a charge. Like it was a good looking hit.
Sure.
Sir,
All right.
it is your turn.
What are the rules of trying to sunder someone's weapon?
Okay, so that's actually a CMB.
And It's bullshit. He's gonna attack. He's gonna get attack of opportunity if you try.
Okay.
If you have the improved Sunder feat, he cannot. If you don't,
I do not have that. I just have a racial bonus to sundering. So the reason I'm asking weird questions, Chad, in case you're wondering, is I've got a sheet up here about trying to keep the crowd on my side as well as winning the fight.
Mhm.
Okay, did you factor in the -1 that he gets with the crowd? Whenever he hit me?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
You scared me for a second. It's a yes.
That sucks. Because that would have been really funny if you didn't.
So to sunder his weapon, first he's gonna get attack of opportunity on you, and then after that resolves, you make a CMB against him, and if you win, you hit his weapon, and then you basically you make an attack against his weapon, and then you just do damage, and the damage is to his weapon.
The important thing to note is that if he hits you with the attack of opportunity, the sunder is canceled.
Okay, that's fair.
That's an important thing to note. And because he charge attacked you, while he has a lower AC right now, he has a higher chance to hit. He has a +2 chance to hit until the beginning of his next turn.
Okay.
So he actually will have a slightly better chance of hitting you. So it's all in the dice then. Up to you. Do you want to attempt to sunder his weapon?
How does grappling work? I'm sorry to ask another question.
Nope, you're perfectly fine. CMB versus his CMD. If you don't have improved grapple, provokes an attack of opportunity first.
Same thing. Got it.
Yep. Yep. And the way, just so you know, the way that the reason why he gets attack of opportunity, there's that feat that I keep mentioning, improve this, improve that negates it. If he didn't have a weapon in hand with which he's proficient, then he wouldn't get an attack of opportunity. Unless he has improved unarmed combat. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay. So
this is the joke of older editions where like someone tries to get clever and tries to do something interesting, and the DM basically gives them all the reasons why they shouldn't do that. And they're like, "All right, just hit him."
No. People,
I mean, that's basically what's going to come down to.
Very
However,
often you just say, "I take the attack of opportunity." How often do people just say, "I just take the attack of opportunity"? Because I don't care.
I'm saying most people don't want to take the attack of opportunity.
if I were to knock him down and he were prone, could I take a step back without him getting an attack of opportunity?
No. He would still he get attack of opportunity, however, he would have a huge penalty to take it.
Correct.
However, do you have the improved trip feat?
No, but I've got boots of stomping.
Yes.
The whole reason I asked that is because
Dave's actually wrong. Dave's
tripping
actually
an
wrong.
opponent gets the crowd more on my side.
Am I?
You can use the boots to trip him, and you can make a free 5-foot step back, and that won't attack of opportunity. You can take a 5-foot step backwards.
Correct. Correct, sir. You are correct.
My idea here is if I knock him prone, it sways the crowd to my side.
Mhm.
And if I take a step back, if I could move out of his range basically after knocking him prone, he would have to come into my range again to hit me, which would provoke another attack of opportunity. That was my idea.
But if you knock him down, you don't have to move. If he stands up, you're also getting an attack of opportunity.
Oh, do I for that too?
Yeah. Again, this is an older editions thing where if you stand up from prone with someone in threatening range, which you are, you'll get an attack of opportunity.
Yep. So for him standing up, you get to hit him.
Okay. Well,
actually a
to get
really
the
good
crowd on my
card.
side and to also get another attack of opportunity, I'm going to try to knock him prone with the boots of stomping.
Wade's like, oh, I asked a bunch of questions, thought it was going to be a waste of time going nowhere, but this actually works out great.
Can I make an alternative? Instead of setting up for an attack of opportunity, you can just hit him right now.
I don't think I can stomp and hit him at the same. The
Wade is not playing the I just want to kill the guy game. He's playing the I am a gladiator putting on a show in front of a bunch of people.
I'm just making sure that's.
I know I could just attack him, but the idea is I want the crowd to be on my side to give me more bonuses and him more penalties.
Wade's seeing this as an RP moment.
I also see this as a chance of getting these people to maybe side with us and help us in the future.
Like I said, RP moment. All right, perfect.
So while I may get my ass kicked in this battle, I'm trying my best to at least make it interesting.
What's the DC to your boots of stomping, sir? Is it written on there?
No, we ask this every time. I think we just assumed it was a 15. But I don't. It just says reflex negates. It doesn't say what.
It is written on there. It's just not written on the one you have. It's written on the online article about the item.
Boots of stomping.
Is there a reflex save, correct?
Your foot stomp precipitates a psychokinetic knife wave that travels along the ground. Blah, blah,
DC
blah.
13.
Creatures that fail to save are thrown to the ground or prone and take 1d4 points of damage, which we've never actually applied.
Oh my god, I rolled a natty one.
Oh.
I'm like reflex save. Cool. I got a +4 for that one. 13? Sure, that's a 55% chance of success, or 60% chance of success. Nope, I rolled a natty 1.
So you take 1d4 points of non-lethal damage.
You roll your 1d4, sir.
Does anything bad happen for a natty 1 on a reflex save? There you go. Take 2 points of damage and you're prone.
Yep.
Is it just an automatic failure?
So when you knock an opponent prone, what happens?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Well,
Trevor,
they're
so
on
we
their
go.
ass.
Attitude towards you improves. Oh,
Yes.
that's nice. So that actually goes up.
So do you want to try to like set yourself up to hit him when he stands up? Is that the idea?
Yeah, if I can, yeah.
So
Whatever I
that was
can do.
that was your standard. Your free actions to step back. You still have a move. You can say something if you'd like. Feel free, but you don't get to make any more checks.
Get up, Corno.
Oh,
Did not know you would fall so easily. And I guess I'll just be ready to hit his ass when he stands up.
Okay. DC to kip up, which is to stand up without provoking an attack of opportunity, because I'm pretty sure 20 off the top of my head.
Is that the one where you do the little flip?
Well, you got it.
Although.
So rocks back to his shoulders and then pops himself back up to his feet. Allows him to stand up as a free action without provoking an attack of opportunity. So does not provoke an attack of opportunity. He does in fact stand up. He looks up at you. He's annoyed. He knows what you were just doing. He knows that you're playing the crowd. And so he decides he's not going to use words this time. He's just going to allow his prowess to be what needs to happen here. You went at him and you tried to knock him on his ass. So he rushes forward at you again. It's just a quick step up. Free 5-foot step, doesn't provoke or anything. Rushes towards you again and says, "The bigger they are!" What's your CMD?
CMD 21.
Okay. And modifier for tripping is so and tripping is important because of the fact that you're so large, you actually get like a resistance to it. Where are you? Here we are. Trip to
21 seems like a good number, right? That's high.
So
No,
you
it
get
is.
your CMD, because your two size categories larger than him, you get a +4 to the check to,
So it's a
against
25.
this thing. So it's a 20. What's your CMD?
21.
Oh my god, that's so good. All right.
So
he
I think
has-
it might be good.
Well, we'll see. We've all
made him
rolled
comfortable.
15 or higher this whole goddamn match.
Yeah, well,
You are both trained gladiators.
this
is
is something
what
that
you-
this is something that he's actually good at too.
You've been prepared for.
Oh, I actually beat a 28. So he says, "The bigger they are," and he rushes forward, the free 5-foot step, and slices out the back of one of your legs, and then with the head of his axe, bashes into the back of your other one. So you're actually like, and fall on your ass in front of him, which unfortunately sways the opinion a little bit. And he
Just
goes,
cancels out what I did.
"Yep." And then he as he steps up before you and raises his axe over his head to make the attack on you. Now that you're prone, he says, "You know the rest," and then swings down to hit you.
He gets
No,
2
we
attacks.
don't!
This guy gets 2 attacks?
This happens when you're a fighter and not a sonic warrior. So
You led me astray, Scott. You led me astray.
I mean, you can do lots of ridiculous shit that this guy can't do.
I beat an AC of 23, so I definitely hit you, and I'm going to do the same damage I did a while ago. Where did I roll that? Here we are. Are you ready, sir? Here we are. It's funny, it's literally the same exact damage as last
It
time.
sure is.
17 points damage minus 2, 15, so you take 15 points of damage, sir.
You took that healing spell though, right?
I did.
Yeah. So I mean,
However,
like
my power points are getting a little low.
a little low, but
Don't forget to use strength of your enemy. on your turn when you attack.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
What's the penalty of attacking from the ground?
-2. No, -4.
-4.
He's probably got a pretty high AC though.
Do you want to make the acrobatics check to keep up?
What's the DC I need to hit? 20?
I
Because that's
believe so.
impossible. No. What do I do here on my ass?
What do I do on my ass?
Yeah.
It's a question to share with the class.
At least he didn't say what do I do with my ass.
Well, I should have left it alone.
You should never leave an ass alone.
Oh, come on.
Is it worth trying to knock him down while I'm down on the ground, you think?
That's what I was thinking. I think it's probably stupid, but in the cinematic theming of my head, that's what I imagined next.
So you don't have improved trip. So if you provoke an attack of opportunity that he has a bonus for because you're on the ground.
So here's the thing just to think about. It's like, your character's ultimately not a grappler. Like you're not you're not built to like take it to the ground. Yeah. I mean, like I think that what you're imagining this fight is going to turn out to be is not what Mortifer's character is. Mortifer's a character who swings around a big weapon and he kills people quickly. Yeah,
the problem is whenever I stand up, I'm going to take another big hit, and if I take another big hit, I'm getting real low.
You also have a magic item where, as a swift action, you can cast Shield and increase your AC by 4.
Is that what shield does?
Yeah. Summons a magical shield that's invisible.
How long does that last?
A minute.
Oh, that's long. Yeah, okay. I did not know that lasted that long. I thought it was like one round. Okay.
So you swift action, activate the magic on your neck.
Yeah, which also means that I can't do strength of my enemy because that's also a swift action, right? And I can only do one of those per round.
But you negate the penalty for being prone, which he's about to when he takes his attack of opportunity.
Exactly. He gets his +4. You apply a +4 to your AC. It's negated. You just take the attack of opportunity as normal.
So that lasts another like 5 rounds after this or something?
9.
9.
Okay.
Combat will not be that long.
6
So
seconds.
I'm going to add my temp AC is a +4 now.
Because basically what it is you're now holding a shield. There's a magic shield.
Okay, so I will use that, and then I will go to stand up.
Okay.
As my maneuver.
You're not.
Sorry, guys. I have a lot of new items here and a lot of new spells written down, so like trying to keep track of all the new things I've got takes a moment.
He swings, and he knows he was going to hit.
Oh.
But somehow he didn't. And when that happens, and he realizes that there's clearly some sort of like magic and effect, you can see like instantly his gears are starting to turn. He's trying to think of how it is that he can try to turn this against you. I should have made you roll an insight check for that or whatever. Sense motive check. You can see how he's going to try to like turn the gears against you for that. Swift action, cast a spell. Move action, stand up. You still have your standard, sir.
All right.
I should have had you roll sense motive.
I think I will just attack him.
Okay.
So I will.
Do you want a reckless offense? Or no, you don't.
No, I don't really want to lower my AC
Yeah,
after
no.
using the shield. I want to keep that up.
Because it's a -4. So you're like, cool, I got a +4.
I will spend a power point to bring the extra 2d6 damage back to the maul, which lasts until I hit. So
It's 2 power points to do that, don't forget. I'm almost positive.
okay. So let's attack.
Ooh, I said 2.
I got
Damn,
20.
I saw there's a natural 20 there.
It's all the higher number is always the crit confirmed dice. It just always does that.
It is annoying that it fairly consistently does that.
Every time. I've not seen it one time where that number is lower.
I would beg to differ, but I agree that it's
Not
fairly...
once. Not once ever.
I think that's confirmation bias.
Yeah, I believe it's fairly consistent, though. Don't forget, so that number right there is actually a 22 because you have the crowd as much in your favor as it is. Okay, so you spent those 2 power... Yep, for 2 power points, you increase it by... Yep. So you do your damage, sir. I just had to read the thing.
25 plus.
Hey!
He's at 63. Holy crap! Between your 2 hits,
37.
63 total. So you ouch. So you hit him as you stand up and pull yourself back up. You get the shield up. It stops. It doesn't. It just barely doesn't hit. You can clearly see the gears turning, and he smashes at you with the thing. And then as he takes the hit and he stumbles backwards himself, clearly like thrown off by that. He's like, his brain is scrambling. You know, obviously you're much larger than him. You're much more powerful than he is. You know, 1v1, like an easy fight like this. And so he turns his back to you for a moment. You know what I mean? And this is meant to be a gladiatorial thing. It's not, you don't stab somebody behind when they do this sort of a thing. He turns his back to you in for a moment and addresses the crowd and says, "Did you not see that? Did you not see how my weapon should have hit but was held back by magics? Magics, I tell you. He is a sorcerer or is using something that gives him these abilities. He is clearly cheating in this fight." And he says, calling out to the crowd, trying to sway them one way or another. Now, before I make my roll, because he's making an accusation, more or less making a skill check to the crowd, somebody is welcome to try to counter that.
I was kind of thinking, because I'd not, even if it wasn't a counter, Shashik would have just blurted out and be like, "He's a bloody psionic, you doofus." And like, just point to the glowing purple hammer and all the things that are obvious, and these people know he is. Like, yeah.
Ollie, persuasion check. Or, sorry, diplomacy check.
I mean, I'm not very good at it, but it was
almost a 1.
18.
Wait,
a 1.
wait, a +5 is not very good at it? You're fine.
It's Pathfinder.
It's
+5 is not very good.
If I was playing D&D, like real D&D, I'd be over the moon.
Real D&D stopped being published somewhere around 2012. So
You're telling me I can't enjoy my 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons experience?
2008, I meant. 2008 was a very bad year. So, all right. Anyways, so let's.
Oh man, I even forgot 2008. On top of the economy crashing, we had 4th edition.
Yeah.
Oh god, those were dark days.
I'm sure.
Dark days.
I'm sure in their little meeting rooms, they're like, no, the reason why we're not selling as much of our materials is because the economy's suffering. That's why. Let's keep making more of these books.
That's probably very true.
So anyways, you actually, he says that, there's a slight murmuring, you retort almost immediately, there's chuckling. It does not work.
That should turn it against him for lying.
No. That it just didn't work. If it did work, it would have affected you by 2 steps. That was a huge one right there. So anyways,
You're welcome.
That more or less counts as like a weapons drill. So it's like he does that instead of one of his attacks. So, or like a skill check thing instead of one of his attacks. So it aggravatedly turns around and like just swings one hefty blow at you in the hopes that he connects with his one remaining attack. Oh God. I don't have
Yeah,
anything
me
to give
too,
you
because I can
bonus.
certainly take lots of those 17 fucking damage hits again.
Oh, piss off. You have a 23 AC.
Have any of us rolled an attack less than like? Oh wait, what'd you roll? I think I just jinxed you.
You have a total of a 20.
That would have only hit me normally.
So annoying. Go ahead, Wade. So annoying you have a well-built character with magic items that I just gave you.
Well, I mean, he buffed himself with it. He buffed his AC and you missed. I mean, I think I see a clear causal chain there.
Wade, your turn.
Yep, I'm
Missed twice, mind you.
I could knock him on his ass again and try to take the attack of opportunity, or I can just hit him.
I think at this point, he's already a fool, right?
Yeah.
Just bop him.
So I think I'm just gonna hit him.
Roll a natty 1 for me.
I'm going to
Give him a solid spank on the bum.
use one more power point
That's a
for
different
inevitable
roll.
strike, which gives me another +5. So I've
That's
got
a
a
half
plus
damage.
7, I think, to hit right now, on top of whatever I roll.
Inevitable, not strength of my enemy. Just confirming.
I think so, because we're far enough into the fight. We're siphoning away his strength. I don't know that's worth it at this point. Just beating the shit out of him, I hope, is more useful.
Okay.
If he's got much more health than that, then I'm already fucked.
Okay. I'm just confirming because you had mentioned it a few times.
I meant to do it early on and just it hasn't presented itself as an opportunity.
You're fine.
So let us attack. I'm not going to use my final 2 power points to increase the damage this time, though.
There you go. Critical hit. Finish it. Finish it. Finish it.
Is that crit confirm, or is that not crit confirm?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
confirmed.
It's quick confirm.
So what do I do then?
Finish
What
it.
do
Roll
It's
your
not a 21 even weight. That's a 22 total because you still have the +2 from the crowd.
dude.
Oh,
Roll your damage. Let's see the 131 appear
are you
again.
guys ready for the damage?
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here
Oh
we
my
go.
You
god!
guys ready for the damage?
No!
Here we go. More to fur. More to fur. More to fur. More to fur.
111 enough?
dirty.
111 damage.
Enough talk, Corno.
More to fur.
Let's finish this.
More to fur.
Oh my god. Mortimer, that is more than 2 times what you needed to do a death from massive damage attack against the guy. Like where you force a fortitude save to not die immediately.
Oh, hold on.
What does obliterate opponent do for the crowd? I don't see.
What were you saying, Dave?
Okay, wait. So, all right. So it's let me just get the thing. So he has to roll.
Oh
Yes.
no. I know what it is. It's DC 15. It's okay. So Wade, describe that kill.
All right. So the last round, he chose to only attack me once, right? So he turns to the crowd and he's like, "He's cheating, blah blah blah, corny bitch stuff." And Shashuk's like, "He's a scion, fucking pleb." He's like, "Oh," and turns around and misses his strike. And as he misses his strike, Mortifer just tees off with his maul right across Corno's head, leaving the rest of his body intact. But whatever was above the neck area, I'd like to think it's gone.
It's much like Jafar's lamp at the end of Aladdin. Like,
Yeah. Ultimate cosmic power, itty bitty living space. There goes the head.
Yep. Oh my god. And his body, it's not like his... Oh, actually, no, because it's such a massive blow. It comes off so cleanly. It's not like his body even jerks. Otherwise, it would just go flying. And like, the body just kind of like stands there for a second like it was cleanly cleaved. And then just collapses. The crowd erupts. That was a kill. The whole crowd just fucking erupts. Just... Oh, yeah!
I'm actually kind of
Shashuk
stoked. I think I hit the head
screaming
so
and cheering.
quickly off. Like Mortifer would normally go grab the head and like throw it to the crowd, but it's so far just gone and destroyed that he'll just like look to the crowd. I actually surprised himself that he did that because he wasn't expecting that kind of. He was expecting Corner to let him hit him in the head like that.
Where it begins, it doesn't matter. They all start chanting after the next handful of seconds. Mortifer! Mortifer! They're chanting so loud, you know it's echoing all throughout the Queen's Hill and definitely into the area immediately beyond. This is over 400 people. This is nearly 500 people standing and chanting one name in unison. It is definitely echoing far out there. Oh my god. Okay.
Whenever we had this task to get rid of Corno, did we need to get them all of them out of here? Was that the idea?
Yes.
Yeah, just get rid of them. So they said.
Out of Queen's Hill.
All right.
So that goes on for a few minutes before you can even try to tamper it down. And I imagine you spend those few minutes after your shock, sways and soaking it in and doing like your rally walks and stuff like that, and your like the and whatever it is that you do to get the crowd going. And after several minutes pass, and you can finally start tampering them down or talking to them, how do you allow it to proceed?
Remember your friend, Mortifer, for you are no longer forced to be under Corno's rule. You are free. I would ask you leave Queen's Hill, and Mortifer will find you outside the walls, and we will build something together away from here.
Okay. It's not like it happens immediately, but they do it. Like, it takes some time for them to get their stuff, maybe even several hours. It's like, oh, did you see that? Oh, I'm gonna go say hi. No.
He'll like
Okay,
as he
no,
says
come with
that,
me. Come with me. Let's go say hi to him.
first a little
Let's
bit.
go say hi.
As they start to do all that, he would look to like Einar like, is there anything else Mortifer needed to tell them? Mortifer has used all of his intelligence for the day.
I kind of like I shrug and I shake my head. It's like I think you made your point very clearly, Mortimer.
So as the various women start throwing themselves at Mortifer, as a whole bunch of the others are coming up and just saying hi to you and showing adoration and attaboys and stuff like that, or even going so far as to swearing their lives to you, much like you imagine some of them did to Cornell before. As all this stuff is happening, your mind thinks for a moment that somewhere back in the penthouse suite of the castle, there's a Jack sitting there, caressing the window, wishing he could have seen that show. But unfortunately, one of the buildings was just barely in the way, so he couldn't watch the match.
He'll have to watch it on ESPN later.
Oh no, he can't, because he doesn't have any internet at the moment. And with that solemn, that sad thought, why don't we take our last break?
No, already.
We'll see y'all shortly.
All right, see ya.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final part. Mortimer has won the fight. He has his spoils at his feet, clawing up his thigh, and Jack is sad, and they're starting to disperse. Like I said, it's not immediate. It does take time. But over the course of the next several hours, and so we can flash forward those several hours unless there's something very significant you need to do.
I imagine we'd look at his axe and armor that he had on, because
I would go in his house.
Of course you would look at his axe and armor. Why wouldn't you look at his axe and his armor? Of course. So he is wearing decent armor. It's gladiatorial armor. Give me 1 second to get the stats for that one. And for his axe, somebody has a monocle they can put over the appropriate eye, and they can actually see that the axe is glowing with magic.
Who's our monocle? Is that
What a
Jack?
dipshit.
No, Jack has
me.
the goo.
It's me.
Miner has the monocle. That's right.
What an asshole. Oh, he's magic, he says, using magic.
Well, it's different. He was using a magic axe weapon. It's different. Different. So anyways, you see that his axe is in fact magical. You go into the house, as a spare
Does
time.
anyone want his corpse?
It's a weird question.
No, because touching his corpse would make us undesirable in the culture of...
Yeah, I mean, the armor. We'll take the armor and the axe and sort out that stuff later. We'll either sell it or if someone needs it or wants it.
All right. Well, yeah. So like.
But no, his decapitated corpse is all yours.
Well, yeah. We'll drag it in the house and strip it down. Because that's what I'll recommend. We drag it in the house and strip it down, so we're not just like looting it in front of everyone.
Well, I imagine we wait till after the crowd dispersed.
Yeah. So because after it's stripped down, I'm going to melt it and absorb it.
Okay. So you could actually do it your way instead. You literally just melt the body, so that there is no body being touched, because you don't have to physically touch it. You kind of put your hand over it. So like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And you just dissolve the body, and then the stuff's left behind.
There you go.
It's like the convenience of the
there was another
disintegration
corpse
spell.
too. It just.
I don't care, but no. I want that other corpse. That was a nobody. This guy had a little bit something going on.
Okay.
What is in his house? Well, of course, it's not.
Do we
his
see you sucking up brain goop leftovers of? Corn?
I've done that before.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people. I'm not sure if you've seen them do people before, but you've
I've
definitely
done
seen
things.
them break down many things
I've done
before.
things, but yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen me do people before.
I don't know why I don't remember that at all, but sure.
Okay.
At this point, I don't think it would surprise Mortimer to see you doing weird things with corpses.
So you when you guys go into the house and look about, it's not that he does have coin around the house as well, but more than coin, which he does have some of, he actually has a decent supply of food stored up, and he has so many other things that in a normally functioning economy would have easily traded monetary value. You know what I mean? Like tapestries from this house there, or vases from there. Like tons of stuff that have value in a normal economy here would have value as well, but probably very, very stunted. Once like order is established, it would have more value. In short, you're kind of playing the long game with this. You can sell now. It's kind of like the stock market. You can sell now and get like small returns, or you can wait it out and then sell when it has a much greater value.
I would like to wade it out, please.
Okay, but there's definitely a significant amount of stuff inside that house. As for if you want,
I'll take the money.
Yep. Oh, of course, you take the money. But do me a favor, actually, whoever you think would be good at it, and please, somebody feel free to check Jack's character sheet. Whoever you think would be good at it, in a praise check.
Oh, I'm not. Jack might be though. Let me look.
I've got good perception. I've got shit for appraise.
I'm untrained in it, but I have.
He's
6.
got appraise 8, so yeah, he would do.
Okay, so obviously Jack would get involved at some point in time.
So all I would care about is just because we've moved into that loft area. I would look for more tasteful art to replace some of to either cover or replace some of the really perverse art that has been there. So it's just something nice that's aesthetically pleasing. I'll take for personal use.
Sure.
Mortimer would like to replace his rations of food.
Okay, I mean, you can take as much food as you'd like. As a matter of fact, many of these people, if you wanted them to, they would, because where a bottom floor access into like the servants' chamber is of the Ivory Tower, Ivory Palace. If you wanted to, they could actually transport all the stuff straight to your home within the Ivory Palace. Because again,
That's right. We do have a whole bunch of slaves we just acquired.
Yep, we can just have them trek it back and forth and bring on. They put it onto the bed.
The palanquin.
That's
what I was thinking. Yeah, we don't have a carriage. We got a palanquin with all of our stuff on there. What's it called? A palanquin?
Palanquin.
Palanquin.
Palanquin. That's our vocab word of the day, everybody.
Today's letter is P for palanquin.
That was really creepy. Please don't do that again.
Use your slaves to carry you.
So
I'm a lobster, Scott.
okay, can we move on from here? Good, thank you. Goodbye.
So does the alphabet thing on Sesame? Isn't it Elmo that does the alphabet thing?
We get
one
it.
of the many people.
Every character.
We don't want.
Do
We
they?
still don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Today's letter is P for palanquin.
No, I don't know what know where Elmo's P is going.
Do you do a good count?
I don't know. I've never tried. I never watched Sesame Street. I know that's like.
One slave.
I don't know what he actually sounds like. So I
Really?
don't.
When I was a kid.
I
Okay.
have to look up the count.
Moving on. So that's what you get from his house. And
Did you ever tell me how much money it was?
I didn't give you the actual monetary value, and he's gonna do the appraise check. If you actually roll for it now, and I'll get you all that information.
I just closed his sheet because I assumed I was.
Einer's also got a good appraise. Is only one of us appraising, or can multiple people look over it?
What's your appraise? I wasn't listening.
6.
He's got better.
Yeah, he's got better. Have him roll with a +2 then from Einer assisting him. Okay, well, so I'll get that number
22.
for you afterwards because it's not important right now, but because it's something that'll get rolled. As for the actual gold value, you guys actually find 1,500 gold in immediately sellable goods like food and stuff like that, coin, blah 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 blah, and it's something that you guys can kind of like have taken care of pretty darn quickly. We'll even just assume a couple days pass for you to allow that to happen.
We might as well just split that 4 ways. Like, why not?
Yep.
All right. So.
But because of math, Mike just loses the little bit.
Nah, I'll put it on his sheet. I'm not mean.
1,500 divided by 4 is 36.
375.
Yep.
What if we should get 36 out of that? 375, you said.
Or you do easier math and you give Mike only 1,000, divide 1,400
Oh,
by 3.
you do this.
By
It's
3.
enough. I've already done it.
We're nice.
I'm just kidding. So his
The
armor,
drug dealer needs some money to fund his drug dealing.
his armor is medium gladiator armor, Wade, but it's actually crafted out of Ankeg chitin, which
Is that acid resistant?
well, beyond something like that, beyond it being immune to acid itself, it actually works like mithril because it weighs half as much. So it only weighs 8 pounds instead of 16. It has the reduced armor check penalty by 3, so it's just 0 ACP when you wear it, and its max dex bonus is increased by 2, so that actually is a +7 max dex bonus.
That's fucking amazing.
What's
Yeah.
the AC on it?
+4 because it's medium gladiator armor.
Yeah, Shashuk, you're literally never gonna find armor better than this. That is like fucking.
I just got armor. What armor is this?
This is way better. I promise you. This
So-
is
Yeah.
What would it be?
So it's medium gladiator armor with no ACP and a much higher max dex bonus.
I can't use medium armor.
So the funny thing about
Oh.
Pathfinder, funny thing about
Oh,
Pathfinder,
it's
I know, I know,
yeah, it's light.
I know.
It's light.
Yep. It's because it counts as mithril. It counts as one type lighter.
There you go.
it counts
All
as
right,
light.
to
You get rid
give
of
me
your,
all the
your weight
details
problem.
again, I'll go look it up. You could have just said that in the first place.
But
I
the reason
forgot.
why I'm saying this openly is because it was being worn by a mole. It could be converted to be large armor or medium armor, meaning
I
either
think
one of you
Shashuk
can wear
needs
it.
something that weighs less. I currently have an AC of 6 on my armor, so to go down 2 would be.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you have an AC of 6 on your armor.
Yeah.
Oh, you wear shell. That's why. Ha.
My armor's currently very loud.
So
what
for
is
me
it?
to find better armor, it would have to be AC of 6 or better.
Yeah.
And then
I'm just saying this armor is almost tailor suited for someone like Shashuk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
But I'm
this
just-
armor, unless Scott drops something amazing, I can't imagine this being replaced for him.
It's on the other website, isn't it?
Yeah, the Winehurst website. Yep. So just more or less medium gladiator armor. Max dex bonus is 2 higher. There is no ACP. It's half the weight. All right, so moving on. You guys grab all that stuff, bring back there. After you complete this, do you go to speak to the champions? Or do you just go back to your room?
I imagine.
Oh,
Einar would have-
oh my god, myself. You obviously would have smashed the crystal as well, the statue as well.
What statue?
The statue where you had to put the crystal. The reason why you're here was more than just getting rid of them. There was a statue, and you had to destroy the statue that was in the way, or at least push it out of the way or knock it over, and place a crystal exactly where the statue was.
Oh, well, yeah, we do that.
So it's funny. Do you smash the statue, move it, knock it over? What do you do, Wade? Because nobody else can do it. Well, wait.
I'll take
actually,
a
Dave-
look at it first just to see if there's anything special about it. Can I just do a perception check to look it over?
It is a statue of Badna.
Okay, so there's nothing magical or special about it.
It's a statue of Badna.
Mortifer would just smash it unless Einar or Shashuk told him otherwise.
There we go, Handsy. Okay, so you smash the statue as people are kind of like, leaving and doing this thing as time passes. You smash it. Some of them kind of take that as a you being aggravated or angry thing. Because I imagine you grunt as you're doing it, and they leave quicker. You know what I mean? But you smash the statue, and then once everybody's more or less filtered out, maybe a handful left, you eventually pull out the crystal, and you put it over to where it was that the statue was, and the crystal almost seems to get snagged by something. Some force snags it and kind of like pulls it up to what would be about eye level to Wade. What's his name there? Mortifer.
While enlarged, or am I back to normal size?
No, just regular large. So it pulls it up to being about eye level of Mortifer. So about 12 feet in the air. 11, 12 feet in the air is where it sits, well out of the reach of a normal person. It just kind of like hovers there. It's one of those things where you're like, huh, that was strange. You kind of like, Mortifer go to grab it, and kind of like give it a tug, and it is anchored there.
Interesting. Is this what your crystal's supposed to do?
I nod. Yes.
Very well.
Oh.
Job's done.
Job is done and with great efficacy. You are truly a master of your craft, Mortifer.
Killing, smashing, and riling up the crowd. Yes, I am a master.
All right. Well, we should head back. I will report our you are free to do what you will. I will head back and report our completion.
Mortifer has no use for slaves, Shashuk. You can have them. He just like does the Fonzie and just like goes on.
It's like,
Hey,
it's one of those things where it was like not even an impressive. It's like, okay, I'm responding because I should. I don't really care. I don't care when he's having fun later. So
Ollie's just been broken by stupid Pathfinder again. Even if it's better for me, it's not like I just illustrated Shashuk in his last armor or anything that I got last week.
Oh no, another
There was going to be a fairly big character thing involved with it, but no, not new armor. It's kind of better.
I technically made the armor for Wade. The fact that it's better for you is just a different conversation. So anyways, it was on a mole, So you guys make your way back to the place. You go to speak with them. Does anybody else join you?
Would we go with? I don't know that we would go with.
Since there's still like some animosity there,
I think Shashuk prefers to be an attack dog commanded and not actually be part
No,
of it.
Mortifer would go with because he's very proud of himself for winning that fight. So I think he would go with.
And technically, you were the one that killed the first guy too.
Yeah, so he would want his he'd want his horn tooted.
Okay. When you come walking in and just speak with him, he's actually not doing anything. He's genuinely just sitting there and contemplating, not playing with the orb or anything else. So when you come walking in, immediately he kind of is in his own thought. You take a few steps in. He kind of like turns his attention towards you and sits up straight.
All right. So just because I have a flair for the dramatic, I will take a minute as I approach, and I'm going to make a sculpt check to make a rough statue of the final blow using ectoplasmic ration.
Roll me your check, sir. Is this in front of him?
Yeah. So like, once we enter,
You don't even say a word. You just start crafting it in front of him.
yeah. So yeah, just I craft it in front of him, and in other words, and it's such a way that like I'm going to, to enhance whatever, what's his face, Mortifer says.
Okay.
That's actually a bad roll.
That's funny.
Well, slightly below average.
Yeah, he rolls an 8. That's funny. So anyways, you walk in and you question Ollie for saying he's not good at something with a +5. So you walk in and it's kind of a funny situation, Mortifer. You almost prefer it. He walks in and like a solid minute and a half happens walking in the room, starts crafting this thing, so on and so forth, and nobody says a word. You almost appreciate the silence. And then after it's done, he finally finishes crafting the thing. And how do you present it?
I say I just say after I finish it, I just close my eyes and gesture, and then gesture at Mortifer and says the task is done by his hand.
Porno's head was removed from his body. The statue was destroyed. Your crystal has been placed.
He will hold his hand out for you to give him the little statue.
The one that Dave just crafted, or Einar just crafted.
Was it meant to be? Like, how tall was this thing?
Oh, I mean, it fits in a 5-foot square, and it can be
a statue, not a statuette.
No. Like it's like a statue. It just has to fit within a 5-foot square.
Okay. So he does that last for a period of time, or
it lasts for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So this dude was 8 foot tall, right? And you crafted like a 5-foot statue.
It's to scale. It's to scale.
Of course.
Mortifer would still be like, he was taller in person.
So he says this thing, did it not gestures to Mortifer? Mortifer's like, he was taller in person.
Well, because remember, you're in the statue. You're a giant. You're towering over him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm in the statue as well.
It was a scene.
Yeah.
It was just him. Gotcha.
It was like you on the back of your heels, like arms outstretched, like doing one of those, like one of those, like full out, like.
In that case,
swings.
Mortifer would say,
head just barely being held on by little bits of spray kind of being represented.
It's like one of those Renaissance paintings where like everyone is very detailed muscles.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stretched and awkward body poses.
In that case, Mortifer would say, we were taller in person.
That's so much better. When you say that, you actually get from him a small corner of his one half of his face kind of lifts up, like he thought it was amusing. He nods with the understanding, and then says something very upset.
Oh, can you hear my son?
Oh yeah, he's clearly upset. So anyways, moving on. He says to you, then you've completed your task. You'll need to rest for a few days. From what I understand, it'll take that much time for the last casting to wane before you go for your next task. Perhaps you should spend time between now and then choosing your approach, because the consecrated sepulture of Badna, I fucked it up. The consecrated sepulture of Badna is your next target. And for their part in all of this, I do not want you taking command and ordering them off. I need them removed from this world.
Mortifer will do one better. He will kill them.
He blinks.
I just gesture at him and be like,
and he blinks and expects you guys just to leave the room. because obviously you've had your conversation reported in, and you know what your next task is. You guys make your way back to your chamber, which is down below, which you still could technically use, and way up above in the pet house area. And
I have to handle some parenting.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'll be right
Go
back.
right ahead. I'm used to it. So you head back to your chamber where Shashuk's already there, already realizing having more than one slave is fun.
No, you know what Shashuk's actually doing? The same thing that he was doing a couple of days ago, where he's trying to get the crotch of the new armor right. It happened last week, and it's happened
Now you
this
have
week.
people to
too.
help with that. You have your own little team of tailors
Yeah,
to grab your.
they're like
crotch
trying
for
to
you.
tighten him into the armor, and he's like, "No, it's too."
Can't you see I need more room here?
It's very important that I have a lot of mobility around my testicular area.
Funny enough, I was recently at Levi's trying on pants, and there's they have like 9 different styles of pants at the store, and 7 of them are.
Yeah.
And then they have one where it's like, these are comfortable but make me look like a dad. And then they have one where you're like, I'll make this work. Let me just, this is I'm gonna get this to work after a while. I got this,
Oh, it hurts because it's true.
God, it's so painful. Why did fashion have to get so tight? So you you make your way to you more or less as you guys are walking in and he's going about this. Jack's already kind of annoyed with the volume and veracity of the situation, and he's like storming his way out saying, I think I'd rather spend my time with her.
Oh,
Not actually going there, but definitely making his way out of the room to avoid any form of...
I think that's the kind of snark that Jack would give. I
Yeah.
think that's correct.
He has
We could always keep the slaves down in the area we were locked in for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we could take them back and forth.
Yeah, where they're not being used. So, and you guys are welcome to spend the next few days actually, like, relaxing. Einar actually has a little bit of his hands full. He has, like, the axe to look over now. A couple of other... This is when he's kind of, like, finishes studying all the other magic items and all that stuff to really understand what they do and da-da-da-da. So Einar's going to be mostly consumed with that. Jack's kind of, working on some potions and some of his own little, like, concoctions. So that kind of leaves at the moment Shashuk and Mortifer from either the penthouse suite or maybe even going for in like sunrise, sunset times, not so much at night and not so much in the morning, during the day, I imagine, walks kind of near the sepulture area as you're kind of trying to plan your next attack against it. So to describe this area, because it's not small, it is actually a rather large building. If it wasn't for the Ivory Palace or the Royal Barracks, this is the largest building in all of the city. It is a ginormous temple to Badna. It's more than just a temple to Badna. It is specifically the temple to Badna and the gravesite for all of her greatest lovers of the past several decades. These are the ones that she, not somebody that she had fun with. These are the ones that she favored, that she married, that she potentially even had emotions for. So when you enter the grounds area actually has a courtyard surrounded by its own castle walls around it, much like a normal keep would. That courtyard is both very ornate, beautiful, even has flowers there, a handful of flowers there, but is also covered with tons of graves to favored lovers of hers, but we're talking like the lower end of the spectrum favored lovers. When you actually get into the building itself, and this is information you guys would know from rumors and Shashuk living here, Waterford living here, so on and so forth. So it's easy that you guys know this. We actually get into the building itself. The building itself is effectively a giant mausoleum to all of her favored lovers. And like where it is that they're kind of like put inside the mausoleums, their bodies all being magically preserved because their bodies are all preserved. It's not like everybody else, you just fucking let them rot in the sand, right? Or you throw them to the let them burn. All of them are preserved. And so she has them set inside the little areas where they're all being kept and so on and so forth. So the whole place is structured and built so well to be so incredibly well defended. Because the idea is, if the city were to ever fall for any reason, the two most defendable spaces that are to exist are the Ivory Palace and the Sepulcher. So you know that this is not something that can be easily broken into. It's crafted of stone, hewn stone throughout, very structurally put together. The roof to the building is actually more like what you would imagine a typical church that you would see in our actual world, where it actually has like a pivot to it. But because wood and typical slate, that doesn't really exist, it's actually made out of stone as well. So the whole thing is very, very well crafted. The doors themselves are actually are actual, like, you know, big stone doors on of course metal hinges that allow them to open and close. The whole thing is ridiculous. Looking at that and knowing it's not easy to break in, it gets you guys starting to think, like, how the hell are we supposed to get into this building then if I can't just, you know, hit it with a hammer? Or maybe you could do that, but it would take some time. You're gonna have to find another way to get into it. But then beyond that, you know that the Templars are the ones that take this area. And the Templars, one, still, for whatever reason that you do not yet understand, actually still have their magics. And that makes them a formidable force. When you fought some half-injured and running away, it's not the same as when you come against a force in a defensible, like, designed to be defensible position. You know that it's going to be a hard fight, to say the least. And while Mortifer is very certain of his capabilities, he's wise enough to know when he's outmatched. You know that it's filled with Templars. As for their numbers, you don't know. Unfortunately, you don't. If you had to guess, not 5.
Would we know if there's like catacombs or anything beneath the mausoleum?
Now, that's a really good question. You yourselves would not know that, but that doesn't mean there isn't somebody that would.
Yeah.
Scott, are there any other Templar factions left in the city?
Yes, there are. There's actually the Blood ones. They still exist because they were formidable enough.
Shashik would suggest
And then
basically tricking the other Templar faction to help us siege this place. Because we're known to be agents of the champions, basically being, you want to continue your duties, they're not actually against you. They can find out the truth later. We can get some good diplomacy rolls. Help us with this, and you know, you will be in their favor as well, and their favor goes a long way because they are going to rule the city and more. You know, so that's Shashik's idea. First of all, even above, like, how do we get in? We're going to need more manpower. Full stop.
Perhaps they would also know another way in as well. There may be a secret exit if the Sepulcher were to fall for them to escape the city. So perhaps there's a way to use that exit to get in as well.
Would you fill me in on what you guys were
trying to
Sepulcher is literally it's a literal fortified castle position filled with Templars.
Is it on the map?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Hall of Conquest?
It's
called
the
the
consecrated
northwesternmost building there.
Oh, the Consecrated Sepulcher of Badna.
Yeah, it has a courtyard which has some graves and plants, and the main thing is the actual castle itself.
The main thing's like a big mausoleum /
Big mausoleum
fortified
church,
defensible area.
of bodies.
Powerful
Right.
Templars.
And who's there?
The
The
power
Templars with
Templars.
magic.
With magic.
The Templars with magic. How many are there? Do we think?
We don't know, but probably more than we've ever fought before, which is why Shashik suggests let's try and get the bloodletting ones in to help us. Or at least, as Mortifer said, maybe they have more information they might be able to trade instead, which is more believable. You know, we go in saying you should help us, and then we do that.
Why would the blood ones help us?
Because we are known to be agents of the champions, and we basically say, look, do you want to survive?
Yeah, but aren't they? Those people are crazy into Badna. And they think that
And they have no reason to believe, for any reason, that our champions have anything to do with that, negatively or for. They would have no reason to believe anything against us. So
They're specifically trying to resurrect the queen, is what they're trying to do.
yeah,
They would not be happy about the current Templars that are in there.
Yeah.
So they might want to.
They might want it for
Fuck 'em
themselves,
over.
and we say,
Yeah.
look, as long as you kill them, we're
The problem is if we get them to help us, and then they do, then we gotta still take care of them too.
Yeah, but
Oh, blood for the blood god.
But that's an easier problem because they don't have magic.
That's true.
So that would even if that did happen, that would be a better situation.
That's true.
So from the castle, can we see like the Bailey? Can we see like what's going on within the walls?
Yes, we've already had what's inside the walls described. It is a courtyard with.
All right,
a garden.
yeah, the corridor. How many people have we seen?
So
I don't think Scott said we saw anyone outside in there.
That wasn't specifically asked yet to see that. So the castle, the Ivory Palace that you guys are in, the actual penthouse where you guys generally are, and it has that like little porch area, that all faces specifically towards the rest of the city. That so it can like overlook the city. That actually faces southeast. The sepulcher is northwest. So you haven't you don't have that clean look over that way. It doesn't mean you can't go to the other side of the roof and check it out. It's not an easy climb, but you guys have abilities, whatever you pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just defy gravity my way up there.
Yep. Of course. And
I'll have him defy gravity my way up there too.
Yep. And while all of you alphabas are up there and looking, you can roll for me perception checks to try to see what you can see within the courtyard beyond the described yard itself.
All right.
I started 23 and I was like, oh, that's sculpting. So nobody here got a bad roll. You guys are able to see that there are guards that will walk on the on the actual like walls. So at any point in time, there will be 2 guards that walk on the walls themselves, just kind of like looking about to see if anybody's there. But whatever guards those are, you see that they switch out literally every half hour, and they have to just because the heat bears down so much. So they
How
go out
often
there.
can we tell how often it is before the same guards are back?
Oh, that's a really good question. You do have a few days. It's a good question. Roll me a intelligence or wisdom check. You can choose which one for each of you.
I'm just gonna tell you this right now. What we'd likely do, I would leave my familiar up here, and I would just ask it to count, like just to watch and count. How many?
Up where?
I would just leave it up on the roof, and it'd be like just watch that the guard changes and count how many different individuals you see.
Of the Ivory Palace?
No. Of the consecrate.
Sepulcher. You guys wanted to go on that roof?
No, he's
Then
putting
once it's
his
a
familiar
stand of the
on
palace,
our
Yeah.
roof.
What is your familiar?
The Psy Crystal.
Sorry, I call it a familiar. It's my side crystal.
Oh, I was thinking like a raven.
So just leave it on the roof, and in other words, it just count every time it sees a unique individual man the guard, so we can get a rough estimate.
What's its sensory?
Its sensory is good. That's an excellent question.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it's limited to like 30 or 60 or 120.
Let's find out. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Personality, subfunctions.
I love how I always say, make a roll for this, and then
Oh, yep.
Dave is always like, or
I definitely do not love that, and I want that on the record.
So it effectively has blind sight out to 40 feet. So yeah, it cannot do this. It cannot do this task.
So roll me that intelligence or wisdom check, please.
That was a good idea.
It was a
These
case
were
roll,
worse than we did because we're big dum dums.
Oh, and intelligence check?
or wisdom, your call.
Yeah, well, it'll be intelligence.
Okay.
That's not worse.
So once again, you guys all did well across the board. So obviously it's 48 shifts times 2 because there's 2 posts walking that top area, right? So theoretically you have 96 shifts a day. You don't think you see the same person twice. You'll definitely see them the next day, but you don't think you see the same person twice.
That's a lot of people.
All right, that's frankly an unmanageable amount by just
This
us.
is why I want to delegate our siege to a new bidder.
Well, we could go with our mob to go scratch their
That's
ankles.
also true, but actually, but Corno's men did hold their own against a bunch of Templars in the Ivory Tower before.
It was what? You saw like 7 of them attack one Templar or something like that I described before, and they won. They did win.
Well, I was more thinking they controlled areas.
Yeah. And again, like as I kept describing beforehand, we're talking about what's that? A little over 100 is kind of what you're getting the vibe off here, right? You just saw nearly 500 people there. Sheer numbers is how they were able to do it. And that
Would
wasn't all those
Morphle
men.
want to just send all his men to their deaths, though?
I mean, they were scratching away at him, like he was talking a big game, but they were hurting.
I
don't
think
really
a lot of them will die if you do.
The Hall of Conquest. What is that?
Good question.
We don't know.
Well,
We know it's related to Corno in some way.
we know
he sent about 20 men there, and none of them came back, as far as you
So-
saw.
So this might be way off the mark, but I'd like to investigate the Hall of Conquest because we are looking to conquest, and it's the
And
Hall
we
of
have
Conquest.
time before we need to do this siege, so that actually might be a good idea.
I'd like to check it out to see what's there. Obviously,
Before we do, just in case we are getting into a scrap here, we've been here for a few days healing up, or have we not yet?
So when you finally actually get to the Sepulchre, it's going to have been an additional...
No, we're literally discussing that we might do something else instead.
I get that. I'm saying when you get to the day where you're supposed to do that, that would have been 4 days. It's up to you for how many days you want to pass before doing something else.
Do you want to go to the Hall of Conquest right now, or do you want to rest a day or
You
two?
could even do like 2 days, no problem.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, I only need 1 day. I just need to get my power.
I need 2.
I was gonna say, for my amount of health I lost, I might use.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need 2 days. I would be happy. I mean,
Question: if I am a dick, and we rest for 1 day,
Yes, you can.
I get my power points back,
Yep,
right?
Yep, that's the most common thing.
And I can use those power points to use my healing spell, and then rest another day and get.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
That's literally what you would do in your downtime.
Older editions usually what you do is, I get 3 spells left before I go to sleep. I cast all healing spells, then go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you totally can. You can always cheese it.
Okay. So you want me to make those rolls?
In my opinion, it's goofy when you do that every single solitary night. It's fine when you spend a day of rest. You know what I mean?
When it's downtime,
I imagine like if we rested for 2 days, the first day I would like rest, and then I would like heal up and sleep it off.
I imagine you would actually like use the bath that they have there because it's actually big enough for you. You know what I mean? Like soak for a while, like really take a full day's rest.
I would. If there's any like a hall of records or anything with books in this castle, I would just go see if I could just answer the question of what is the Hall of Conquest.
That's a good question as well. And to further that point, there's no that logically there would be a map of the consecrated Sepulchre of Badna in this castle because it is a backup defensive position. There should be a map here somewhere.
So all that stuff makes perfect logical sense if everything that was originally in this castle was still here. It got raided many times over. So
It's
again,
still worth
whether or not you have it immediately in front of you and whether or not it is something that exists are 2 different answers. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go looking for it. So
Certainly. So
Yeah.
why did you roll for me? And searching is perception checks in this game. So you guys can spend that first day, resting, but perception checks looking about.
Do you want me to
Wait,
roll for
are you gonna help me, Shashuk?
Yeah.
Wait,
all
I
right, so
imagine
what-
you actually just rest
Okay.
the first day. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for healing?
Can I give you a modifier instead of
What's your perception?
+6?
I'm exactly the same. So the
Can I
question.
give a modifier instead of rolling it?
Yeah. So what are you gonna give me +2?
Yeah. That seems to make the most sense because you actually kind of know more what you're looking for. I just
Yep.
kinda-
Yeah. I actually agree. I think that makes sense. All right. Here we go. Come on. Roll well.
Roll from that 19 to that
Terrible.
3. That was rough.
11.
Oh, 11, yeah.
So you you looking around. You're trying to find records of the structure of the Sepulchre. You don't find that. You're trying to find records of what the Hall of Conquest is. You don't find that. You don't find any of that information, unfortunately, inside the castle itself.
I would say with an 11, you do find out that they both exist.
Thank you.
That sounds like something Sheshik would say annoyingly.
Sorry.
No, they're still there.
It's funny, you guys rolled my perception modifier.
Yeah, I don't think Shashik would spend more than a day looking. But he would
not-
happily go there with you if you're thinking of, well, it might be relevant or it might come up later. Why not hit Scott off at the pass?
Now that I've done my due diligence, of the champions, is there one who seems to be more like bookish of their group?
They're all technically mages. They're all technically bookish, but you're talking about the one that seems like the biggest nerd. Like,
We want
The biggest
transmutation mage. They're the big nerds.
give me
But
1 second.
the one that looks the one that seems the most nerdy to me, because I am going to consult, and I'm going to just ask, what is the Hall of Conquest?
Yeah.
Their name is Vess. It's the other female one.
I can tell you all about the Hall of Conquest.
I will go seeking her.
Okay. When you find Vess, the room that she chooses to study in, it's where there would have been. There was never a library here. Let's be serious. That was not the Sorcerer's Queen shtick. But it's the room where there could have been records or whatever it was beforehand, things that others that handled that kind of stuff, the goings on, the actual management of the city, where they would keep, the basic paperwork. Not a library, but like a record room. This room has been converted into the room that she currently is using. So she's in there, and she has filled the shelves with her own materials that she has had to reproduce from memory, or that were stored upstairs in the vault when the vault was still filled with their belongings. And so she's in there and is doing work. So it's one of those things where as the door opens, maybe you knock first, maybe you just open the door, she immediately puts down her quill and turns to regard you, and has a little bit of a cross look. You imagine because she's being interrupted.
Yep. So as I walk in, I'll glance around and I say like, you seem to have made this room into something a bit more useful and functional.
To describe her, she's a woman of average build. Seems to be not quite middle-aged, but not quite youthful, somewhere in that in-between phase. She still has, unless there's hair dye, she has raven black hair. She has very dark features, jawline, cheekbones, whatnot, very angular, but not in ways that make her particularly attractive or anything like that. They're just noteworthy angular. And when you say that, she realizes exactly who it is that she's speaking to. Like, it's kind of like she was cross at first, but then she realizes it's Einar, and she says, "Hello, Einar. You work with what you can."
I smile as I look around. She's like, yes, well, I was curious if this castle had a library. It seems that you are aiming to do something about that.
You find a hole, you fill it.
Yes, well, perhaps if you've gone into the records room, may I interrupt you for a moment just to ask you a question about what you found in here? I'm seeking information about a place that's nearby called the Hall of Conquest. Have you heard of it?
Of course.
Do you know anything about it?
I'm gonna have to stop you there, Einar.
Okay.
Do not go there.
I kind of lean forward on the umbrella, and I say like, well, now you have me intrigued. Why not go there?
Have you ever heard the old proverb about cats?
Yes, I have. Curiosity usually leads to their demise. Suggesting something quite dangerous is there then.
Perhaps you should keep your whiskers out of this one.
With that, I kind of stroke like my upper lip, and with a little strand of ectoplasm, like I'm stroking a whisker.
That's funny. If you drew that as a picture, as like a still, it looked like he was like pulling a really long booger.
From my upper lip, not my nose.
Yeah, but when you're pulled away, it all looks the same.
I like I'm a filthy human being. Like I just touch my face and leaves like a.
Yeah, imagine being a filthy human being. Imagine that.
Anyway, and I'll just say, Well, then let me ask you this alternatively. I've been asked. We've been tasked with dealing with the residents of the Sepulchre of Vadna. Did the Hall of Conquest help us in that endeavor at all? Do you believe?
No. But the reverse would.
Very interesting. Well, I guess I'll just the last question I have is like, you don't happen to have a map of the Sepulchre amongst these records and books, have you? As I kind of just like glance around the room, like I'm doing a feigned attempt to find it in that moment.
She shakes her head. No. I don't. However, I'm sure there was a record here. Are you... She stops, catching herself in the moment, and says, I'll give the room to you for a little while. Allow me to open your minds before I go. And so she stands up, kind of like dusts herself off, you know what I mean? Kind of like flattens out her clothing. And closes up what she was working on and, you know, puts everything away. And then she comes over to you and she, you know, kind of like gets her hands ready, kind of limbers them up and slowly places her hands. I imagine you're still leaning on the umbrella, slowly, or a parasol. She slowly like places her hands so her thumbs are over your actual eyes. So you close your eyes. She's kind of like applying firm but not painful pressure on like the inner quarter of your eye, like right where your tear duct is. It's like one of those things that you would do if you were like trying to alleviate like a headache. It actually feels soothing. You're an old guy, you know what I mean? You're almost always in pain. It's
Any
so
touch is good at this point.
Oh.
Any touch of a woman. Would you please sit on me?
Is it too late to cancel the game? Can I math us out of this one?
you just hey, leave the call. That's how you do. You just drop out of the call like sorry guys, my sound broke.
Oh God, it reminded me. No, Wade, she's family. That's Granny. Oh, that's Granny Vess.
So, anyways, she places so like her pinkies are over your temple, and once again are applying pressure in a way that would be soothing, and then her other three fingers kind of like span out across your skull and almost have like, even though they're staying perfectly still, she's not like rubbing them or anything like that. You can almost feel like vibration coming off of them, and again, it's giving this like soothing sensation over your skull that gives you like this almost harmonic kind of sensation between like you and her as you feel this feeling, and then you could actually feel a bit of a harmony comes between the two of you as your minds just barely touch. And in that touching, she actually imparts to you a small glimpse of one of the abilities that she has. It's the ability to read psychic impressions. And so when she does that, and you kind of like feel this, you like feel this almost like this, you know, nugget in your own mind for a moment, and you like search it with your mind for a couple moments, come to the realization of what it is because you're just sheer understanding of what psionic, like spell psycraft and knowledge psionics. You crack that nugget open and you know, allow the power to wash over you. And then as she pulls her hands away, you blink a couple times. She's still standing there before you. She gives you a pat on the shoulder and she says, "Good luck, Einar," and walks out of the room. As she walks past you, your focus goes off her into the room around you. You're still in the room, that's obvious, but it no longer looks as it did before. It looks as it did before. And you can actually see the chamber as it was some time ago when it was filled with various books and things of learning, various records and the like all around the place.
There could be lots of useful info there about every building in the Queen's Hill.
Now, unfortunately, there is a limited amount of time that you have to use this ability. So I will, what Wade is saying makes perfect sense, but how long it takes for you to do these bits of research is dependent on how well you roll. That's how I roll. That's how, I'm sorry.
Remember the dad pants? I think you should have gone with the dad pants. That's how I roll.
I won't lie. I totally bought one pair of the dad pants.
I knew it. I knew it.
You need something when you mow the lawn. You got to signal to the neighbors.
That's the most dadly job of all.
The jeans way up at the top of the thigh. Those are called dad mowing shorts.
Oh,
Those
you
are
know,
also what you wear when you pick your kid up at their dances.
I mulch my lawn, so I allow it to like spray out the back, so it does hit me somewhat. So I actually have a specific pair of old shoes, and I wear like pants I don't care about when I do it.
You
'cause
got
it
mulch pants.
sprays-
Dad mulch. I need a new pair of dad mulch pants.
So
Sorry, Dave. Go ahead and roll.
So what do I need to roll?
my apologies. So you actually, where is your character sheet really quickly? I know. I got distracted talking about my pants.
There's a hole. Fill it.
So what? So you actually can make a knowledge history check, whereas beforehand you couldn't have. You can make a knowledge history check and a perception check. Perception's first because it's going to impact your second roll.
All right, come on, roll better this time. Did I not roll? Sorry, I'm. No.
Oh my god.
Oh, natty one. Goddamn.
Good job, champ.
Whatever.
You're the smart one, right? You're the smart
So by
party
the time you find
It's
the
a
book,
wisdom
where's
skill.
off?
So the natty one doesn't mean critical failure. Again, I'll keep reiterating that because I know a lot of other people that play D&D or just view it think that. That's not how it works. Natty ones don't mean auto failure for skill checks. So what that means is that you're only going to have enough time to have acquired the information of this one question about the sepulcher. And then actually reading that information and understanding it, this is where your knowledge history check is going to come into play. And you roll much better.
Oh,
Much
come
better.
on. I was actually really hoping it's gonna make it harder to use your history check. Like, I got this.
So you do come to an understanding. Yes, there are. You find the records. You find the old information. It's not one single map that like, oh, this is great. I'm just gonna roll an auto hypnosis to remember this. It's nothing that simple. You have to piece this together through a whole bunch of different bits of information that you come across. Yes.
Scott, the second you said it, I'm like, I'm gonna use auto hypnosis to memorize this. That was literally what I was about to say.
So you, so you piece it, you have to piece together the information based off of little drawings that you see here, worded explanations of how things look, so on and so forth, hints that you find from other bits that you find in different books in relation to the sepulture or to past loves, and there's like obituaries to each one of her loves inside here, and like pouring through that nauseating book, you find bits of information through all these different bits of literature. So one, yes, it does in fact have a catacombs. So you've learned that outside are the least of her lovers. Those are the ones that she cared the least about. On the inside, immediate inside, is where her greatest loves are. And then in the basement, the catacombs, is actually where her like mid-level loves are. You also realize the number of people in there, you're guessing is like around like 700 or 800 different corpses buried.
Oh,
in
corpses.
there. Yeah, buried in there, which is like awful. But you also find, you get a 28, so I got to give you everything. You also find hints of a record saying that there were tunnels to get to the catacombs.
From the castle?
No. Actually, this is one of the most surprising parts. From the arena.
Ooh, that is interesting. Oh, Mortifer will like hearing that.
So there's tunnels to get to the castle. To get to the sepulcher from the arena, and allows her to get to one location to the other safely and whatever. So that exists there as well. As for other details of what goes on in there, again, you learn about the various lovers. You don't care about that stuff. You know about the types of flowers and everything that they use inside there. You don't care about that. Another bit of information that you would find useful or interesting, maybe, like as a world building thing, is that the world, as you know, is dying. However, the science of irrigation wasn't lost. And they actually have irrigation tactics used to collect and pull water from much of the surrounding area. Obviously, they would have used magic to assist in this. Much of the surrounding area to actually make a natural well of water that exists underneath the Queen's Hill, which is one of the reasons why it's actually a hill itself. But most importantly, the well of water is directly beneath the sepulcher, which is why the flowers always grow and always stay in bloom.
Okay, so I mean, the tunnel. Where does it connect in the sepulcher? Or where does it connect on both ends? Is there any details about where the actual entrances and exits are?
You know that it goes into the catacombs of the sepulcher.
Okay.
So just the underground portion.
Okay, into the catacombs.
And you know that it connects from the arena. You don't know exactly where in the arena, but there are two things that logically make sense to you. The part of the arena that none of you have ever seen ever before, where she would sit in her comfortable hidden spot to watch the events, or where she may have had a lover that existed amongst the gladiators, where they were kept.
Okay.
There is one more detail I'm going to give.
Okay.
There's a lot of information about Badna, of course, because it's the sepulcher of Badna, right? The consecrated sepulcher of Badna. It was all about him, technically. You learn that through passages, there's something referred to as the heart of Badna lies in the sepulcher. You don't know what it is, but it's referred to not as just like an ethereal thing, like an easy reading would make you understand, but like reading the context of it, you come to believe that when it refers to the heart of Badna, that it actually refers to a thing.
I do like magic items. Alrighty. Okay. That is some interesting information.
With that information, and kind of like as you're like turning the page, here's the map that I can... Everything fades. So everything kind of like fades back into you're literally holding nothing.
It's like chapter 1, like the Sepulchre Battle. Chapter 2, the Hall of Conquest. Oh, here! Oh.
And so with that information, Einar makes his slow trek through the halls back to the where he'd find the rest of his companions, probably happy with himself and what he's able to discover, playing with his parasol as he walks. And with that, we'll actually end this session, and do our round robin and see who's who and what we all doing. So Dave, you go to TwitchCon?
TwitchCon, of course. I'd never miss it.
Yeah, none of us are going. So, who are you and how can we find you? Ollie.
Ollie, you can find me on Twitch and on Twitter at OllieRant. I am a D&D illustrator, and I actually illustrated Shashik recently, not being a super crazy person. It's a very chill, relaxed painting of his old suit of armor, which he had for no fights. And I also do D&D on my channel. The game on Sunday is about monster hunters. It's a great time at midnight BST. And there's going to be another one on Wednesdays that's going to star Dean Curry, Mathis's own slave editor. And that's me. That's what I do. Come hang out.
Was it the picture of that armor that you're referring to? Wasn't the armor green?
It's kind of a bluish.
Oh,
it's a hard color because it's insect exoskeleton, so it deflects light in a very interesting way.
Yeah, which Ankeg is that as well, but Ankegs are customarily brownish or greenish.
More brown. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've already been thinking about it.
Of course, we all know what color egg is.
I was just wondering because it is technically digital art, which I know is not digital art is very difficult to do. But couldn't you technically like grab those colors and change them slightly? Is there something you could
the armor would look completely different.
Oh, you'd want an entirely different style because of the specific beast it's made of. I gotcha. Cool.
It's also a different type of armor. There's so many things.
Oh, that's right. It is a very different type of armor too. I'm so sorry. That is true.
Couldn't you just Photoshop it real quick?
Yeah, just Photoshop.
You just press the auto Photoshop button.
Yep.
Real quick. Just do that real quick.
Yeah, just yeah.
Could you just put your
That's why I don't do art for Scott anymore.
Just pay yourself exposure to get it done.
He did not mean what most people mean.
That is what most people mean. They just don't follow through. Wade, who are you? How can we find you?
I'm Wade, Lord Minion 777 on most platforms, including YouTube and Twitter. Minion 777 on Twitch. I am not going to TwitchCon. Normally I would be. However, this year I will be in Australia instead, doing the You're Welcome tour. And actually, Mark just released a documentary about all of our behind-the-scenes stuff on our improv tour. So if you go to youtube.com/markipliergame, you can find the You're Welcome tour documentary and see us talking stupid behind the scenes of our show. And probably not get to attend the You're Welcome tour because Australia is the end of the tour. So I think that's all I do. I'm here every Wednesday for Star Wars. However, I will not be here the next 2 because I'll be again in Australia. And every other Thursday for more Dark Sun.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh man,
I got a haircut
I didn't.
Your
notice.
turn. Today.
Didn't notice.
No one complimented it at all.
I saw you literally last night at this time.
I was a Yeti yesterday, and you didn't say anything about my clean haircut today.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's fine. It's whatever.
You're just a picture on my screen.
It's fine.
That's all you are to me, Wade.
Just another face in the crowd.
Yep. A crowd of 3.
Mortifer has his own crowd.
3's a crowd. They say it. They say it. Dave.
My name's David. I am a lawyer, and I have children. As anyone who watched the full VOD would see. So, besides that, nothing.
Not interesting at all. And I'm Delric. You can always find me here at twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Show or the YouTube channel and stuff like that because I am half of Lost Initiative. Despite how many people there are, I am half. And
We are Delric.
you can also Google Delric. You'll find everything there. There'll be a bit more video game streams and stuff like that now as things transition a little bit. But you can always find my Witcher campaign over there. So at least that's one that's going on right now. We
You
just
should start.
finished chapter.
You should start referring to yourself as we. Just to add your little spice.
We are Delric.
We are Delric. You insist on referring to yourself as we.
Oh, the royal we. So anyways, we have the Witcher campaign that literally just ended its first chapter. We'll be not playing on Halloween because people are Halloweening on Halloween. But the week after that, we will be starting up with the next chapter of the game, which is a lot of fun as that goes forward. Anyways, I'll see you all next Wednesday for things and other things. Bye.